Look, man.
All right, man. Let's just jump right into this shit.
I made my wife wake up and drive me there anyway.
You...
¿Es a major?
Pasar con eso. Pasar con español.
¿Qué pasó, papá? ¿Cómo estás? Any questions?
Now, when you bought that sweater, right? You just go, fuck it. I'm going full Mr. Rogers. You've tuned into the Man Chatter podcast. Yo, what are you doing right now?
And we're live.
All right. As you can see, I'm fully COVID-19 ready right now. Obviously, social distance is a motherfucker. And just seeing you this close to my face, even if it is on video, makes me really uncomfortable, man. Just want to let you know that.
I appreciate your friendship as always.
Yeah. It's way too close, man.
It is.
Too close, man.
That's because I gotta be looking at the telly screen.
Telly screen? Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're calling? All right, I think take the stupid shit off.
No,
I
just started listening to 1984 again because it's been like 20 years since I last read that book.
Yeah.
So that's some of the language that they use in the book, the made up language.
Dude, they have what is it? Like, just keep playing. I listened to like the first 40 minutes. And it was like Big Brother's always watching. Big Brother's always watching. Big Brother's always watching. Okay. All right, got it, bro. Got it. I got it. So what's going on, man? The hell have I been doing besides just sitting at home? Literally at the same desk for the last, 17, 18 days? Your mic, bro. You always forget to hit the mute button.
This is my... fourth week working from home, man. Fourth week.
Mm-hmm.
And tomorrow's finishing up the fourth week. That's crazy. Which is, I mean, it's not that crazy. I have a lot of people at work that are full-time teleworkers. And it's something that I kind of wanted to do, but I don't know if that's really what I want to be doing. No, I mean, no, the bad
weird, right?
Well, it's not bad. The bad part is that we can't do anything when we're off work, right? We can't really leave the house. We're limited to what we can do. And
right.
I like working from home. I like just rolling out of bed and booting up the computer and not having to worry about anything else. But
it's just weird.
It is.
Dude, like yesterday was like my first day back officially at work, right? And I had to get my had to do stuff on my truck and something called a DOT inspection, Department of Transportation. It needs to follow, it needs to stay under certain guidelines and stuff like that. And I was sitting there and have like replace all the brake drums on my truck, or so it doesn't pass inspection. And it was like the first time that I spent like an insane amount of time away from home. You know what I mean? Usually just like run to the store, like Target shopping. You know, run to the store, get whatever I need, run back home.
Right.
You know, minimize any kind of interaction with people. Dude, and I was out yesterday for probably about 11 or 12 hours, bro. And it was just weird. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but I felt like anxiety building. You know what I mean? Where I was like, is Rona right around the corner? Is this gonna get me today? You know what I mean? Like I'm driving home and like I'm driving home and I felt something like nope. I felt something in the back of my throat, and I was like, that's it. I got it. It was just like allergies or a cough or something. I don't know how quickly this takes over, but it's crazy, man. I got friends of mine that are telling me, you know what I mean, that they've been exposed to it. Like my cousin works, you know what I mean, with it every day because he's a nurse.
Right.
It's still wild, bro. It's still so wild.
Ah, man, I don't know, man. I think I'm starting to get to that point where it is new normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I don't get to go outside. Now I get to have my groceries delivered. And then I have to wait till midnight because everyone's trying to order at the same time. So I'm up at 12 o'clock trying to pay and reserve a spot for Monday. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But
what do you do? Like Walmart grocery, or does all these have in-store pickup? Like, what do you do?
I do whoever hasn't run out of spots at the time. So last night at midnight, I already had my carts full. from Instacart, which is what Aldi uses, Walmart, and then Giant Eagle, which is one of the
Publix.
Yeah, one of the Publix.
So how does it like you have them? Like I'm assuming you like produce and stuff like that. You trust them to like pick out your produce and shit like that. Or how does that all? How does that work? 'Cause I haven't done that. Like I'm not comfortable with somebody else picking out my produce. I know it sounds weird, but
no, I that stuff I would have to leave the house and go do that myself. So frozen vegetables in the meantime.
Yeah, I got you. Like I'm cool with like inanimate objects. You know what I mean? Like things that aren't due to spoil, or because different people have like different consistencies of the produce and different ways of checking and shit like that.
Right.
So that's why we haven't got around to doing like Walmart grocery. So you could just do literally just drive up and they put it in the back of your car or your truck, and you don't have to go outside because you pay for it all through the app. You know, I live in a small town, so Walmart's really our only choice. Because I don't even know if Publix has anything like that. I haven't looked into it. But
Publix,
it's
really?
crazy, bro. I don't know if they do. They should. I would assume they do, but I haven't seen anything. I mean, I don't know. I'll tell you right now, bro. I'd kill somebody right now for a Publix sub. Oh my God! But I don't even know if they do that. I don't even want to stay in the store that long.
Bro, you're gonna have to exit. You're gonna have to exit and come back in. But you know what? I'm glad I caught it early. I don't know what the. How
about now? Does it work now? Check it. I don't know. Yeah, check that real quick. It doesn't make sense why that's happening. Pausing for dramatic effect. Still.
Here, we'll relaunch. We'll relaunch the.
I'll come back in.
Yeah, let me close out that session. All right. Technical difficulties once again, but I believe actually, you know what? I'm pretty sure we got it taken care of this time. Let me bring you back in. So I want to say I'm about 99.9% sure that I got it fixed this time.
I don't understand why it's happening.
Also, if I did get it fixed this time, I'm also 99.9 about 2,000% sure that it was my fault this time.
It's a hell of a jump. How'd you go from 99.9 to 2,000%?
Yeah.
How was that a thing?
I changed my mind. Whoa. I just lost you? What happened? All right. And Benjamin just left us once again. Okay. What just happened? I don't know.
You just went black and it came back in.
You were there, but I'm pretty sure that it should be working as it should be. Give me a second.
So it's your fault?
It was my fault this time. I'll take full responsibility. I screwed up. Let's see if you have no or you can talk. Parrilla's watching The Myth.
The Myth. How did you guys decide who was what?
Oh, I'm the legend. Come on now.
Yeah,
but there's nothing wrong with being the myth.
So the myth means you don't actually exist, right? Or you just talked about it in like ancient lore, but there's no actual proof that you.
I mean that he
is that how that works?
He'll just do a John Cena on your ass. So just be like,
you can't see me.
You can't see him. Let me see. You can keep talking. You can even talk to the myth if you want to. I gotta test this.
That's my brother, bro. You know what I mean? He's doing the complete opposite of me. Like I'm shaving my head and he's letting his hair grow. He uses Vidal Sassoon with it, so I mean I respect him for that.
Yep, definitely got it to work. Finally.
All right, we're good.
So we're good.
All right, we only lost like 2 minutes. Yeah, but dude, I don't know if Publix does like drive up pickup. I'm sure one of the people checking on Facebook, all our friends and shit, will let us know if they do, because that'd be crazy, dude. Like I said, I could kill somebody right now for a Publix sub. With the thought of sitting inside Publix waiting for them to make that sub while there's old people coughing all around me, I'm good, bro.
Yeah, bro. I'm not trying to get that new HIV.
Nah, I mean, I feel like it's a little different, right? HIV. I mean, no, you die from pneumonia or any other shit. This one is like if you have underlying conditions, HIV gives you the underlying conditions because you die from like the common cold.
Yeah, this shit'll kill you.
Don't fuck with it. Yeah, no, 100%, bro. Dude, like, are we just gonna jump right into the fact that UFC 249 is canceled, as it should have never happened?
I mean, but we knew it was gonna happen, right? That's not a. It was a question of when and not if. I'm surprised that it. Oh no, I'm not surprised it took this long, because Dana White is the guy running it, and he was gonna try to do everything in his power. And I, you know what? I think at the end of the day, he probably knew that it was going to be canceled, and he just trying to keep interest in the UFC. All about marketing, all about keeping that name in everyone's mind. He just kept it going, kept dragging it out, and I think they knew that it wasn't going to happen.
But doesn't it like kind of make him look foolish though? Like, was it just like marketing and shit like that and branding? Because now it just makes him look irresponsible. And I think the reason why they canceled it was, you saw earlier like that Rose Namajunas pulled out because like 2 people in her family have died from coronavirus.
Is that why she pulled out? Because the article when it happened initially, she just said that they didn't know the reason why. Because I read like one of the first articles that came out. Yeah.
Yesterday it said undisclosed reasons, right? And today, like two members of her family died. That's why she pulled out. So again, bro, like it was just. And look, I don't want to take credit for the frame of mind that I have with it. Like I give all the credit to Luke Thomas. You know what I mean? He's my favorite MMA reporter. The guy's always on it, incredibly honest.
Yeah, he is.
Former Marine. You know what I mean? So I'm a big. He's my number one MMA guy, and he was like, it's just irresponsible. And he had like a series of questions that were like, how is the testing going to go? If the testing is going to go, are you going to check somebody every single day? What if one of the people gets symptomatic? Are you going to sequester them in their rooms, or is everybody going to be in the same hotel? It's way too many variables with way too many people for it to have worked, bro. I mean, the only way it works is like if we literally fly the people in that day, but even then, you know, it won't really work because one of the fighters could have it.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing that we talked about, that we've been talking about, because some people could be asymptomatic, or they could have family members that have it, and then they develop it, they get tested, they don't show symptoms, but they're carrying it. Yeah. And it's irresponsible to try to have those fights.
Yeah, it was just stupid. Like, I get why WWE has WrestleMania, right? Because they're not actual like athletes. You know what I mean? Like they're not commissioned and shit like that. Like they're actors, they're soap opera guys and spandex. You know what I mean? That's just what it is.
Yeah.
But that's a business, right? Like that's a TV show. You know what I mean? And even then, like they minimize it where they don't have anybody. You know what I mean? They don't have. I think everybody's like staying on location. They're getting checked because they don't want their staff, their people to get sick. They minimize cameras. You know what I mean? They're trying their best they can do, but they still need to put out content for those. I think 5-7 hours a week because it's Mondays 3 hours, Wednesdays 2 hours, and then Friday 2 hours. So they have to put out that shit, that content. So I get that they have a contract. They have to, and then it's the same thing with the UFC, right? Like I didn't know this until Brendan Schaub said it. They have to put on, I think it's 72 fights a year for ESPN. Or some crazy shit to get their $750 million. That's why you have fight nights every week. You know what I mean? Like It's crazy. Like you have multiple fight nights and all this crazy. So they have to meet that requirement because ESPN's like, yo, if you don't meet this requirement, that's why Dana White's pushing for it. It's for the money.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it is. They're looking at the bottom line. They're not looking at the athletes or the people involved. They're looking at that. Oh, we have this contract, and I know they must have that clause in their contract because a lot of athletes have it. You know, teams put it in there. What is it? Force majeure, like an act of God or something along those lines. I would think the UFC and ESPN have something similar to that.
All fighters are independent contractors. Right? Just like WWE. That's why they don't get paid shit. That's why they don't have health insurance. they actually get shitted on. That's what, like I sent you that thing about Jacare Souza. Like, he's like, yo, I have to fight. Like, I'm risking my life, but I have to fight to pay my mortgage. You know what I mean? That's how they fight 2 to 3 times a year, or however many times, depending, insert name of the fighter, maybe 4 or 5, right? If they don't take any major injuries, because they need that constant income, because that's all they do. That's all their money.
Yeah, those guys that aren't top tier, that are fighting once or twice for an interim or an actual championship, those other guys are fighting 4 or 5 times, because at the end of the day, they still have to pay their trainers, their teammates, all that stuff, and then whatever's left over, then it's for themselves and their family.
Yeah.
So I mean, if they have sponsorships, maybe they have some side money coming in that way.
Yeah. But now they don't even have sponsorships, unless it's like on their social media, because they can't wear. Like, remember when we grew up watching it, they had all the sponsors like on their shorts or their T-shirts, and all that other stuff. Now they don't have any other stuff, because with Reebok, they took away all their sponsorships. So now it's like a tiered system. It's a whole. I mean, it's the WWE on steroids, because at least WWE, like, if they get like a T-shirt, they get a cut of that T-shirt. You know what I mean? But like now it's like Reebok tells them what tier they're on and how much they'll get off that. But when the fuck have you ever seen anybody buying a Reebok UFC T-shirt? Never seen anybody wear one in the history of my life.
No, never. I used to see people wear those. What the hell were those? Not No Fear
Affliction.
T-shirts, but Affliction. Yeah,
Affliction.
all that. Yeah. No Fear. That's like taking it back to the 90s.
Yeah, bro. That's what No Fear with Jenkos is. What?
That's right.
That's
no
what that was.
Jenkos.
No Fear with Jenkos on, and lugs if you were crazy, and then like the Converse or whatever if you were like a rocker. It was what the whole clicks. But yeah, dude, it was just irresponsible to even put that card out there and put the pressure, because the UFC has all the UFC and ESPN has all the power, right?
Yeah.
The fighters have the least amount of it, so of course the fighters are gonna agree to it and try to be all badass and shit. But dude, like, why would you people pull out of fights for less for injuries and stuff like that? You're gonna go into a fight compromised. Like Kevin Lee fought once with a staph infection. You know what I mean? So and you got to think about it, right? Like, let's say you get COVID. We didn't even talk about this shit before. Let's say you get coronavirus.
Okay.
And then you're cutting weight.
Yeah, you're already putting your body under some crazy stress. Imagine that.
Dude, you're losing 20, 30, sometimes if you're fucking insane, 40 pounds. You know what I mean? So you're starving yourself. Your body's not at its peak. And you throw in coronavirus on top of that? Like, that's just fucking Khabib Nurmagomedov pulled out of a fight because he knew like 4 weeks out he wasn't gonna make weight. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy, bro. It was crazy that it was even a concept. It was even a thing being pushed, man. I don't know.
I mean, but we were all waiting because we're like, oh, this dude bought a private island. I'm about to watch some blood sport shit going down.
That's going forward. Yeah, this one was gonna be like an Indian reservation. That's supposed to be going forward again because he has to put out the content. Oh, yeah, they have to, or else they don't get that money. Because then at the end of the year, when they'll be like, hey man, you only put out 30 fights. But this is kind of like act of God type of thing. So,
and you said 72 fights?
I think it was something like that. I want to say 72. No wonder
we're bombarded with, like, you're right, fight nights on Wednesdays and then on Saturdays where there's no pay-per-view going on. And then you got to have ESPN Plus, or is it Plus? Whatever the app.
Yeah, Plus. And yeah. Jeez. Through all like ESPN2, ESPN News, no, not news, but ESPN, ESPN Plus pay-per-view. It's crazy, bro. I think it was like, I don't know if it was like 72 or 52, but it's a shit ton of fights. That's why it's just gotten to be too much. It's oversaturated, man. It's just oversaturated.
It is, but you know, we don't watch it as much of a fan that I am and that you are. We can't watch those fights. I mean, not that they're meaningless. A lot of them are, but they're filler, right? They're just there because they need to meet that quota. We need 72 fights or 72 events every year, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, the next fight like really should just all be postponed till probably July, right? Like, just lead it up to the Kamaru Usman, George Masvidal, where like through all metrics and all shit, it looks like we should be on the other side of this whole thing. This pandemic, so things will be. I don't know if they'll ever be back to normal. I don't know if that's ever a reality anymore. I don't think so. Like, I was talking with my neighbor today, and he's more of a conservative guy. You know what I mean? I saw him like 2 weeks ago. He's like, man, I don't believe any of that shit. And he came over today because I had mask and gloves, right? And he's like, hey man, you got some mask and gloves? I was like, yeah, bro, I do. You know what I mean? Like everything is, when you start seeing the numbers grow and grow, you can't help but for it to become more of a reality.
So did you give him the old "I told you so" or no? You just
No,
say,
I didn't. Nah, bro, he's a nice guy. I mean, look, his belief system is his belief system.
I mean, I would have given him some shit just to fuck with him. Like, are you sure you want these? I mean, it's not real.
No,
it's a big hoax.
I would have, like, if I had more neighbors where I had the ability to, you know what I mean,
to have witnesses in case he murdered you. Yeah,
exactly, bro. Like, and he's a good guy. You know what I mean? Like, he's gonna be helping me in the future doing some restructure of my land and shit. So I couldn't shit where I eat with that. But he's a good guy, bro. Like, he's not like aggressive with it. You know what I mean? He's not like some of the people I've had on my Facebook. He has the bumper stickers and all that shit. But side note, I mean, I don't understand bumper stickers. I know that has nothing to do with anything. I don't understand the concept of a bumper sticker. Yeah. Like, why would you put like the, what is it? The one with like the family on the.
Was that what Marin was talking about? I've been talking about that my entire life.
Yes. Yes,
people that put their family, like the husband and wife, and then the daughter and 2 little boys, and then have a dog and 2 cats. I'm like, okay, so I know exactly what I need to be looking out for if I'm trying to break into your house. Got it.
Dude, it's so weird. It's so stupid. Like, I've never understood that. Like, the only sticker I have on my car, it's on my wife's car now because she has a car and I drive the truck, is the fact that I've donated over 1 gallon of blood because I'm a universal donor. That's the only sticker, because that's like something that you know what I mean, that I'm proud of. But like all those other stickers, like I have, like my father-in-law gave me a bunch of stickers and stuff, right? Like a bunch of stuff, and it was one of those where like it's the family, right? And I still have it, but I haven't put it on my car because I don't know, it's just not my, you know what I mean? It's just me, my wife, and a dog, and like 2 cats. Like it's just something, not something I'm gonna fuck with. But it's weird, bro. Got people who have. And overall, like even people who were like vets, who are POWs, I don't understand. I don't understand putting your life story in a bumper sticker.
I've never been a fan of that, man. Even when I was active duty, you had to have that DOD or that Army specific decal on your window and stuff.
Yeah.
I hated that shit. I hated it because it would put me at it
put a bullseye
stand out, and it puts a bullseye on you, and you're like, oh shit, okay, great, this is something else that I got to worry about. But you would see, the soldiers with, some of them would have Rangers or 101st or all these damn places they've deployed to, Iraq, Afghan, veteran.
People like the awards.
Oh, people put all sorts of shit. Yeah.
I don't know. Also the hats. Like, I don't know if it's an older generation thing, but like nobody I know that that I've known for 20 years or whatever, 15 years. Like, I don't know anybody who like walks around with like like an army hat, you know what I mean, like a OIF or an OEF, you know what I mean? It's all like the Vietnam or what. Like, I don't understand. Like,
I've seen some of them, but the majority are the Vietnam guys and which other ones?
Yeah, World War I or II, not really, but it's usually Vietnam.
Yeah, I've seen some OIF, OEF guys, but the majority are Vietnam guys. You know what I haven't seen, and I think this is not to shit on them, but I'm gonna shit on them. If someone's wearing like a Gulf War, like a Gulf War hat, like I deployed to Kuwait in 1991 or whatever, when we shot that country up with rockets and the war was over in 30 seconds or in 2 days, however long it lasted. No, that's terrible. It's all in good fun, but I haven't seen one of those hats.
Yeah, no, I never understood that, putting that bullseye on you, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a left-leaning person and all that shit, but like, there's nothing on my car that like would ever signify that. You know what I mean? There's no Bernie bumper sticker. There's no progressives versus everybody, even though I want that shirt. You know what I mean? Like, there's difference. Like, I don't understand bumper stickers as an overall concept. First of all, it ruins your paint. If you take it, like I had a magnet on my car, right? It was just a U, and the sun hit it, and then all it left was like, mind you, I could take the magnet off, and all it left was like the trace of the U. I was like, I couldn't imagine putting a bumper sticker, because like that drops the value on your car. I just think it's dumb. I didn't know I was gonna rant
You
about
gotta
a
go
bumper
through all
sticker, but
that
it's
trouble
stupid.
to take all that shit off, though, right? With like alcohol, or you gotta get a razor, all sorts of shit just to try to
Yeah,
get it off and not ruin your paint, and it's gonna ruin your paint anyway.
it's gonna ruin your paint anyways. Like you could get some shit called like Goo Gone that like removes the sticker, but
Yeah,
it's too much work. I was like, it's stupid. I don't get it. You
yeah.
see that a lot. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't have an issue with it. The one that I've always just kind of questioned are the ones that have the family in the back, and it has your entire family tree, and it lets
Mm-hmm.
someone, if they're really in that type of mindset where that's what they're looking for. You're
Yeah.
telling them exactly how many people are in your family. If you got to watch out for
Mm-hmm.
dogs. If they feel like
Mm-hmm.
following you and they know where you live, they drive by after you pull into your parking spot. Like they know everything about you. That's
Yeah.
crazy to me. And
It,
it's never been a black or white family though. But I mean a black or Hispanic family. I've
it's
never
never.
seen it. Not even an Asian family.
No,
So
no.
that leaves the options
No.
they're dwindling down.
Yeah. Let's just be honest, right? Like if it's a Hispanic family, what you'd see is like the flag on the rearview mirror, right? Remember when that was a thing? Like growing up, you'd see like the
The
Cuban
dice
flag.
or the
Yeah,
flag.
the dice. Yeah, or like first of all, why would like the thing that was stupid to me was like the ones who put like the CD.
Yeah, the
I got
CD.
what
Oh,
what are
that's
you
just gonna
trying to
blind you when you're driving, man.
yeah, what are you trying to do with that, bro? It's fucking stupid. But yeah, dude, it was just weird. You think that I don't know if that was just like because I'm trying to remember a time before the military where I had like an anti-bumper sticker stance. You think that's or the family thing? You think that's more like an OPSEC thing, like operational security? Like you don't want any more attention brought to you than needed. You know what I mean? So like that's why I hated the sticker on my car when I drove on post to get on. You know what I mean? Because like if you saw that, you knew I was active duty.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably that it gets drilled into your head, right? From day
Yeah,
one in basic training and OPSEC and
yeah,
be careful of what you say. And then you see all those old school, like World War Two posters where loose lips sink ships,
hmm
all that kind of stuff, and they would
yeah,
still be posted in different rooms or different places on the installation. I'm like, man, this is some old school memorabilia stuff. I want to take it home and just keep it and maybe sell it 40 years from now.
yeah.
But yeah,
For real, bro.
it's everywhere, right? OPSEC, and maybe that's where it comes from. Although I'd like to think that even before the army, I was kind of a little wary
I don't because
of doing
I
stuff
don't
like that.
remember like I don't. Yeah, I don't know if like that was a thing when we were younger. Because I mean, when I was before I was in the military, I was mostly a passenger in a car. So I don't know if I paid attention to stuff like that. But it's just weird, bro. It was just weird. I don't know
Hey,
bumper
bro,
stickers.
just so you know, you're talking really bad about yourself on Facebook right now.
Are you? Oh, that's right. Because you have access to my. What are you?
That's
Are
right.
you? Are you talking shit?
Felix is on there.
Tell Ben.
He's saying
Tell
what's
Ben.
up.
Did you?
I told
Did you just say tell Ben how terrible he is as your? Did you
as
talk
you
about me in the third person? You fuck.
tell Ben how terrible he is.
That's a self humbling compliment. That's a self humbling comment, bro. You cuck, dude.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Hey, yeah, you cuck. Let me ask you something. Random ass question, bro. What's the best TV show you've ever seen? I just random question because I was thinking of I watched SVU yesterday. I think Law and Order SVU is one of the best TV shows consistently that I can remember seeing.
I haven't seen SVU in a while, but I was one of those people that watched all 45 Law and Orders.
Okay,
They have just like CSI had all of them in NCIS. Yeah,
never watched it.
I was a
NCIS.
Law and Order fan. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'd say SVU, but probably I saw when I was deployed. Spartacus.
Oh, that's the
Really like
shit, bro.
Spartacus.
Yeah. Right before the guy died with stomach cancer. Yeah.
Right. And then
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it took me a couple episodes to get used to the guy that replaced him, but he ended up being pretty good too.
Yeah. It ended up being a totally different show. What was it like? Spartacus, like Blood and Sand or something like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a totally different one. Yeah, that was a good one. But I was watching yesterday because they always have the marathons on USA, right?
Yeah.
I was watching yesterday, and they had one that was very politically driven, where they had like a Ann Coulter character,
Mm-hmm.
right, who's just like says like brash shit, like crass stuff. I was like, dude, like I'm watching the show. I was like, the show's been on for like 21 years, and I'm watching it, and I was like, and this show is still good. Where I was like captivated in the shit, like, what's gonna happen? You know what I mean? Like, when I was like, man, this is a 21 years. It's a really good fucking show. It's not the best show. I'm not saying it's the best show, but I'm saying like year in, year out, episode in, episode out, it's always a good watch. But you usually know who the bad person is, like, because if you recognize them from anything else, like, oh, that's the killer. All right, I know who, or the rapist. I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, if you a better show, I mean, it's not because this is a procedural, right? Law and Order SVU. It's a Criminal Minds is a really good show, and I'll watch it and then I'll go off and stop watching for a while. But that's another one that I could probably sit down and just binge and do a marathon of that. And they have quite a few seasons as well.
Yeah, I think it ended like a year ago or two. Mm-hmm. But that one's a good one. Yeah, like the procedural shows are good. I never got into NCIS. That felt.
It's hokey. Like, it's corny. It is, especially NCIS. LA is like my guilty pleasure. I don't know why. I just enjoy. You know what it is? Because LL is always like. I'm like, dude, really? You're solving cases like that with the. All right, G. Why are you talking to another man like that? That's like that. You guys are supposed to be quiet. You're undercover, and you're here smacking.
Yeah, I know. Licking his lip. He really can't. He really can't help it.
It's I like. I don't know why. NCIS Los Angeles.
I've never watched an episode. I think that I've seen it. Like, I know who's in it and shit like that. But it just feels like it's specifically made for a certain demographic. Where, like, you know what I mean? Where I just it's not my demographic. I mean, like, all right, do your thing. You know what I mean? It's been on for like 15 years at this point or some crazy shit. Yeah. So I'm not rocking with it. It's not my thing. Was it CSI at the beginning? Maybe. I think CSI Miami I watched a little bit more because it was always funny how the main guy would always say, like, he'd say something like corny as fuck, and then he'd put his glasses on and walk off. I'm like, all right.
Horatio.
That's how you solve crimes, putting your sunglasses on and moving on. Fuck out of here.
He dropped these one-liners at the end of the episode.
Yeah, it's always who you least suspect, the baker or some shit. And then you just walk. Like,
you won't have to worry about him anymore. Glasses, walks away.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't. And he always do like some weird smoky voice. Yeah, you don't have to worry about him anymore, and just walk out. Yeah. The fuck. Like, he didn't do anything to
1-900 line or something. What did I call?
Yeah, 1976. Get the fuck out of here is what GTOFH. But yeah, dude, I was watching it yesterday. I was like, this is a consistently solid show. I think my favorite show of all time, though, is still The Wire.
Man, it's been a while. The Wire was really good. That reminds me. What's out of the show? It's probably one of my favorite of all times, and I can't remember the name.
It's probably the prison one where guys are getting in the butt, right?
That's not the reason why. All right.
No, but it is, right? Like, there's that part where, like,
that's the show.
Oh, I wish I could go to jail. Right?
Okay. Okay, Jeffrey. Okay, Epstein. All right. Take it easy. Take it easy, Aaron Hernandez.
What was that show, bro?
Oz.
There was so many good people. Oz. That's a great show. That is a great show. That was a really good show. They were like on like right after each other.
Too much male on male rape is going on though. There's too much rape in general in that show going on. Like, we get it. We get it. We don't need to have 3 rapes in one episode. Every episode.
Yeah, right. Like, yeah, I don't need 3 male rapes every episode. Like, that's unnecessary, and it's just pushing it too much.
Hey, Parrilla, you're right. Ben definitely looks like Hernandez, right? For sure. I agree with you 100%.
That's actually, I shaved my head, so I kind of see that. But I remember one episode where they had a guy named TK Rowling. He's the one that does he was on that show. He was like a white supremacist. He got his dick bit off by another guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he was on like Law and Order, wasn't he?
I remember that shit because I was like 14 years old or something. And I was like, I shouldn't be watching this. Like, where are my parents right now? Like,
I was about that age, like 13, 14. And TK Rowling he was a mainstay on one of the Law and Order shows. He was like the captain.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like the captain or the defense or the district attorney or something like that. Where I think it was like Law and Order Criminal, because they had like different ones, like Law and Order Criminal Intent.
Right, because Law and Order Criminal Intent is that one's really good. That's with Vincent D'Onofrio. He's like a little weird actor. That one's dark. Yeah, I like that one.
That was dark, bro. That one was dark. But yeah, dude, that was a really good show. That was just madness.
Yo,
But yeah,
talking
man,
about
I
Law
was
and
just
Order,
thinking
that's
about.
crazy.
I mean, yeah, dude, like those are consistent. There was other Law and Orders that didn't make it. Like there was like Law and Order L.A. with like Anthony Anderson or some shit that got canceled after like one season. They've had failures. You know what I mean? Law and Order SVU has been the longest lasting one. But it's crazy, dude. Law and Order, the original, had like a presidential nominee, Fred. I think his name was like Fred Thompson. He was
Oh
like the
yeah,
district.
yeah, Fred Thompson. Yep.
Yeah, he was like the district attorney. We are nerds, bro. I didn't know we are gonna go this deep into Law and Order, but it was just a consistently good. It is a consistently good show.
It is.
It was
Hey,
a good time.
this is something I pulled up on ProPublica. I wanna show it to you real quick.
What up?
Let's see if it shows. I'm gonna send it to live, and then I'm gonna share it with you here. So it's gonna take a second.
Always does.
But this is crazy that schools are doing this to me. This is in Illinois.
Wait a second now.
So this was last year. This was banned where what they would do is they would isolate kids and put them in a room by themselves, and then put them in a prone position, face down, as punishment. And of course, schools in Chicago and Illinois were like, no, we need to get rid of this type of behavior punishment. But there was a group of schools that tried to bring it back. Like this is in 2020, they want to put kids that are misbehaving in the prone position in an isolated room as part of I don't know, behavioral, however they want to treat them, but like
however they want to justify it. Yeah.
Let me see if I can get to it. And
what the fuck?
Prone restraints carry the most serious risk to students and are unacceptable. Yeah, this is how they want to keep kids. And I'm not talking about like, people that got into fights and security has to restrain them, but this is just an acceptable form of punishment in school, apparently.
Jesus. More than 30.
So not everyone bans it already. We still have some states out there that are cool with it.
Can I ask you can I ask you a question? Can I just assume that most of the states that are cool with it are Southern?
This is the how you should
put
someone face down.
Yo, son, I tell you right now, if I had a kid and another person touches my child like that, they better pray to God they move immediately, bro. Like immediately. Let another person fuck that. I don't have kids. Let another person touch your kids like that. I'm flying through a pandemic and fucking them up on site, bro.
Yeah, bro, that's crazy. I remember we had Tony got in trouble in Washington. Take it off the picture,
because then it'll be like double image. So he got in trouble in Washington?
Yeah. So he got in trouble in Washington, and he was in 7th or 8th grade, I believe. So he he was playing around with one of his friends, and his friend got up and then sat back down. You remember those desks in school, right? You have your chair and you have the desk is all one piece. And when he sat back down, the leg of the seat came down on Tony's foot or his toe. And so he yelled what anyone would yell, except he probably said, I think he said shit or fuck or something along those lines.
Of course. Natural word.
Yeah. And I get a call and his teacher's telling me he said this and that. I'm like, well, why did he say it out of nowhere? Well, he and his friends were playing around and he got, this is what happened. So we need to give him detention. So I went to the school to talk to him. I was like, no, we're going to talk. And if he's going to get detention, then either they both get it or neither one gets it. It's like they were playing around. Well, he's the one that said, he's the one that assaulted my son. They were playing around, right? So if you're going to use that logic, then if you're going to excuse one kid because he was playing around, then you excuse the other. And if you're not going to excuse the other, then they both get detention because one said fuck or shit in response to being assaulted and the other one assaulted him. So which one is it? Yeah.
That's so crazy.
I was in uniform, so I had to like not cuss this guy out because it was in the middle of work. and I think Mel was deployed at the time. And so I went over there and I talked to him, but I was gonna lose my mind. And he was we were in Washington State, so he's super liberal, way out there. I'm like, what are you?
Anti-vaxxer. Yeah, he was an anti-vaxxer.
He probably was an anti-vaxxer.
Yeah, probably was. Fucking white liberals.
God.
Oh, dude. That would. Yeah, but that doesn't. That same logic. It should be the same thing, right? Like, well, what if that desk broke my son's toe?
Right.
But you're gonna give my son detention because he cursed? Like, that's what we're doing here? Fucking idiots.
Yeah. Like, what did he do that was out of the norm? His friend weighs more than he does. Tony's a tall, slender kid, and he raised the desk. What doesn't matter if he weighed more than him or not. Like, someone stood up and then sat back down with their full weight.
Yeah.
On your foot. What do you expect someone to yell? Ouch.
Yeah, exactly. I'd curse.
That's a normal response, dude.
Dude, I got into a fight in Springs, right? The only fight I ever got into in Miami Springs. I just there was this kid I just didn't like, right? Like, and he sat in front of me and he was talking shit to my boy. I remember his name, my boy Anthony, right? He's talking shit to my boy, and he goes, "Hey man, I was like, bro, this motherfucker better not say nothing to me." And then I don't know what he said. He said something. This is gonna sound fucked up. He said something to me in Cuban. I didn't quite get it. Like, I don't know that.
There is Cuban speak, by the way. That's just the truth. We're not putting anyone down. There's Cuban speak.
Yeah, there's like, it must have been like some shit I never heard. And I got up and just started punching him, bro. I got put in handcuffs because I beat the shit out of the kid. I got put in handcuffs, but I didn't get like arrested, right? Like, I didn't get taken out because Carlos actually came and like knew the SRO. I know you remember her. She was the fat white lady with the short hair that was our school resource officer. She had like the short Karen haircut, and like her son went to school that was a huge drug dealer.
Yeah,
and druggie like that never got in trouble but somehow graduated. Whatever. We're not saying names, so I can say whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
so they put me in handcuffs, and then they ended up letting me go. But I was like, dude, like, he said something. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? There was a reaction to his action. Like, he started it, and then they suspended me for like 2 days, and then they like waived the suspension and didn't count anything against it. I was like, yo, he said something that was the reason why he got his ass whooped. Like, you don't just get to do stuff and then not get punished for that shit.
Yeah, there's free speech, there's a First Amendment, but if you use inciting language, that's not protected under the First Amendment. If you say something that starts a riot or starts a fight, that's not First Amendment speech. Hate speech. I mean, I think I told this story. I don't know if it was on air, but Javi, last year, some kid stepped on his shoe, or and Javi smacked him with the heel of his hand, open hand, bam. I get called to the school. His teacher tells me what happened. He says all the kids. He took stories, or witness accounts from teachers and kids and stuff like that. He said, "Hey, by the way, he's not in trouble. If someone comes up to you and steps on you or pushes you, you have every right to defend yourself." So that's not why I'm here. I just wanted to talk to you, man to man, principal to parent, so that you know what's happening and you're aware. But he's not in any trouble whatsoever. He defended himself, and I'm all for, I'm not the type that says turn the other cheek.
Right. You gotta slap him.
Yeah, to me, I was like, what? I was like. I never thought I'd see the day where a teacher or principal, because it's not even a teacher, it's the principal who's like, nah, he's good. He defended himself. That's what he should do. If someone shoves you or they step on your foot or they're doing something, that then you do you take the next step and defend yourself. So I was like, okay.
Let me ask you something, bro. Like, because you've had one son that already went through like middle school and all that, and high school and all that, and now you got another one going through it, right? Like, what do you do in situations where, because I'm sure you've been not necessarily privy to it, but heard of like stories from parents, right? Like, that are like kids that are getting bullied or picked on or anything like that. Like, do you think it's better if they react to it and like slap the bully in the face? You know what I mean? Or keep all that in? Like, what do you think is, as a parent, you know what I mean? As also like a kid who went through high school himself, like, what do you think is the right approach or shit like that? Because I don't have the answer, right? Like, I've only ever gone through high school. I've never had to deal with a kid going through high school or going through anything. So you have two going through, one gone through it and one eventually going to go through it.
Right. So since I went through high school, right, I never got into any fights in high school. I got into like 3 fights or 2 fights, and one of them wasn't a fight. And one of them we were there for. I got just clean, like just clean shot to the chin, and I was just being stupid. Yeah. We know who it was, and then he came out, and I was like, oh shit, he was taking it seriously. Okay, bam. I didn't even have my hands up or anything. Got knocked out.
Yeah, you were not ready. You were not ready.
But the other 2 or 3 fights that I got into was, really because someone was fucking with Chris.
Yep.
And I got into fights to defend him. Not because he couldn't defend himself, but I mean, we hung around the same group of people. We hung around the same group of people, and I'm 3 years older than him. And like at the rec center, there was this one time that some dude was like, Chris was warming up for. They were in the championship game at the rec for the basketball team was in the finals, and this dude just took the ball from him, and I'm on the other end of the court just shooting, and then I'm like looking at him warm up and stuff, and then I see what's going on, and this dude's in class with me, and I'm watching it. I'm watching the situation kind of develop and see if it's going to escalate. So, when you're shooting or you're practicing, you shoot, you make it, you give it back to me. Give my respect. I shoot, keep going. Make it, take it. And this dude wasn't even, like, on the team. He's just a spectator hanging around while this team is trying to warm up.
Slightly pedophile-ish.
No, he's my age, right? So he's 3 years older.
Doesn't mean anything, right? Could still be a pedophile.
I would hope not. I mean, damn. But anyway, you took it dark. You took it to another level.
Sorry, it got dark. All right, man. Law and Order SVU.
I know, right? SVU and Criminal Intent. Jesus Christ, you need to stop watching those shows. Give it a break, man. No, so I'm watching, and I at this point I stopped shooting, and I'm holding onto the ball, and I'm just kind of like carrying it on my side, and I'm walking towards half court, and Chris shoots, he makes it. This guy grabs the rebound. Chris gets it. He rips it from Chris's hand, and they're like just going back at it. And at this point, I dropped the ball, and I'm sprinting full speed. I got kicked out of the rec center for like a day or two. We didn't get into blows or whatever. Like I just ran him into the wall, and then we start. Who was this? Marty? It was the old skinny white dude with the mustache.
I remember Marty.
Yeah, Marty broke it up. I remember he was like my football coach when I was growing up, and he kicked us both out. And another time I got into other times I got into fist fights because people were making fun of Chris for his weight and stuff like that. And I'm like, no, I'm the only one that can do that. I'm his brother.
Yeah, exactly. We're like, brothers do that shit to each other. What we were talking about her like on the last podcast, right? Like we could talk shit about each other, but if anybody says anything about it, like, we got a problem. I'm honestly surprised. There was this kid. I think I never fought him because he was younger than us, but there was this kid that was a little bit of a cunt, bro. He wasn't much younger than us. He was probably around Chris's age.
Okay.
Like I think he moved away. I forget his name, bro. I just never liked that kid. I forget his. I can't. It wasn't because I remember Tony and his brother moved in later, but there was another kid that always played with us. I want to say his name was like Mike or something. I don't remember his fucking name, but he was
he lived in the apartments.
Yeah, he lived in the apartments. We always played with him when we played like pickup ball. He'd always be like yapping his mouth. You know what I mean? When we'd play like 4-on-2, where me and you were like the 2 and they were the 4.
Where did he live like farther down on the other end?
Yeah.
By like a group of kids. You remember where we used to go watch like WrestleMania and stuff like that? Like that family of like 45 brothers?
Yes. I think that's why we never fought him, because he had like a bunch of older brothers who were like, we're not going to get fucking jumped. We'd lose. But he'd always like talk shit to Chris. And there'd be times when you're not there because you're off for like Marlon, you know what I mean? Or like running with Danny. Or he's running, doing your cross country thing. So, with Chris, it's like my little brother too. So there's a couple of times like, yo, man, shut the fuck up, bro, else I'm going to slap you. Like, you're talking a little bit too much, because I guess they didn't like each other. And Chris has always been a shit talker.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's just always who he's been. And you know what I mean? He was.
Oh, Chris! If there was a shit talking Olympics, Chris would be like a 4-time gold medal for sure.
Oh, 100. He's the Usain Bolt of shit talking, right?
He's the Usain Bolt of shit talking. Absolutely.
I mean, if anybody tells you, yo, your kids are gonna get kidnapped, what do you say back? You know what I mean? Like, they won.
That's it. Right? This event has been removed from the Olympics. There's nothing that can top that. Your kids are getting kidnapped.
That's one of those where the judges are like, God damn, all right. I guess we're just going to call it here. Let's just wrap this up and fucking end it. This is crazy.
Yeah, no. So we were talking about it, and I've always been of the, like my stepfather told me, hey, don't get into fights. But If someone starts some shit, you finish it. And even if whatever you get your ass kicked, like you defend yourself because they're gonna think twice about coming back and messing with you. And that's what I told Javi and Tony. And Tony was never didn't get into fights, never got into any issues.
Good.
And Javi, I can see Javi getting into fights because he's a shit talker. He got that
good.
from I don't
From
know
his
from his
From his
uncle.
uncle.
He spent too much time around his uncle. Chris stayed with us for a while here, and then when we were in South Carolina, so some of that stuff must have he must have got it from his uncle. But yeah, I can see some parents will say it's not the turn the other cheek thing, but it's more like, well, don't do anything because if it's a bully and then you get your ass kicked really badly, then they'll just keep coming back. I'm like, no, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that theory. I'm like, a bully wants something easy, and if you put up any kind of resistance, they're gonna want to pick on a different target. That's just how it is.
Dude, there was this dude in my school, right? Not gonna say names or whatever. There was a dude in my school who like played football, you know what I mean, and did all this stuff and like played all 4 years.
Yeah.
And he like thought of himself as like big shit. Like he was in my crew of friends. I remember one night we're at night school or some shit, and he's trying to like impress some girl, so he's trying to be cool, right? And I was never like, always been like the bigger kid, but I've never been like the bully big kid, right? Like I talk shit to my friends, you know what I mean, and shit like that. But I try to keep like a cool demeanor because I black out when I fight. And I remember he was like egging me on, bro. He was like poking me in the chest, like, "Hey, bro, let's slap box, Jeez. Like, nah, bro, that's not really my thing. And it was like, come on, bro, like because he had like all this like you could feel like all this extra testosterone. He was trying to like show off in front of a girl. I was like, bro, look, I don't want to slap box. At that point, I had never slap boxed. I knew the concept of it, right? Like it's just basically slapping somebody in the face till somebody stops, right?
Yeah.
We're going back and forth. Like, nah, man, that's really not my thing. And then we didn't like have any beef after, but of course he kept egging me on, and it just got annoying. Where like I probably could have walked away, but like it's one of those. I'm also 16, 17 years old. But like I don't want to look like an ultra bitch if I walk away.
Right.
I was like, all right, we're gonna slap box. I was like in the parking lot, and I remember it was me, him, and that girl that he was trying to show off in front of. Dude, I beat his ass. I actually I legit like knocked him out, like because I smacked him in the ear, and he lost his balance, and then I came across it was all hands, right? I didn't ball up or anything, and I slapped him with my left in the chin, and he was snoring, bro, and like I felt bad. I had to like wake him up because I had no beef with him, right? Like it was just like that. I've only ever slap boxed twice, whatever, 2-0, whatever. I've lost other fights.
2-0 slap boxer. Put that shit on your tombstone.
But I've lost actual fights. I'm trying to think. Maybe I think I have. I try not to fight. Dude, it was just like it's just such a weird dynamic, like where I never understood that concept of being a bully or being that guy. And I honestly felt, but like I even ended up apologizing to the kid I beat up in class. It was in the middle of science class because it was like that's not really who I am. I don't try to be like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like I said it on that podcast with Danny. Like I feel like I could beat most people up that talk shit to me on social media. I feel like I can.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna like approach it in that manner where like, oh, let's fight then, bitch. That's not really my thing. I think that's stupid. I think bullying overall is stupid. I'd fight a bully every day, all day for the rest of my life over ever picking on anybody for real. Like I give you shit, but that's because we're brothers. But like a real bully, like I can't stand it. I think that's why I can't stand, you know what I mean, this orange dude. You know what I mean, just because of like that perspective and that dynamic, I was like, bro, like nobody should talk to another person that way. No, like you can have your beliefs, you know what I mean. You can have your beliefs and your political stances, but like have a little bit of class about your shit, bro.
Yeah, class, right? No, I think look, you know what it is with short people, right? Short people. Well, you don't know because you're not short, but I know. So we carry a chip on our shoulder, right? And
right.
And so I've always had that like Napoleon whatever mentality. Yeah. Not just because of the height. All right, I'm gonna cut you off.
You know what? Napoleon was actually tall, right? Napoleon was taller than you. Napoleon was 5'8".
Listen, dude.
I just want to throw that out there. Like he was tall. He was just short for his alleged time or whatever. Just want to.
No, at that time I would say he's probably tall. Actually, like we've only gotten taller, and
it was only like a story people made up to like give it like the Napoleon compliment. He was actually pretty tall. So,
but short people have that complex, or at least I do. That chip on my shoulder. So I remember I always trying to do extra shit. One of my friends, she bought me in high school a hat for my birthday for Christmas that said "I'm the man."
Jesus Christ, then. John.
Because I kept and it faded because I put it in my in the probe. Remember what happened in the probe, right? I fucked that
we
up.
almost fucking died because we were drunk. I thought we got on the wrong ramp, bro. Yes, I remember. I remember that vividly. You're trying to drive home at 7 a.m.
At 7 a.m.
You had been drinking all night. Yes, fuck. I remember that.
I don't even think I wasn't even drunk. I was a responsible driver. I was just tired as shit, and I got on the on ramp, but I thought it was the off ramp, and I was like, anyway, that's a different story.
Destroyed the engine.
Yeah, I blew that fucking transmission. That shit fell like 40 feet behind me. But so I've always had that chip on my shoulder. I remember I tried to do combatives every time when we went through basic training. I'm like, yeah, let me do hand to hand with that dude right there. And I remember it was another short dude. He was like maybe an inch taller than me, but he was like 195, former high school wrestler. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna fight that dude because he's a shit talker, and somebody's face is gonna end up in the sand, and it's not gonna be me because that's where you did it in the sand pits.
Yep, I remember.
Yeah,
we did an entire pit.
The tire pit.
Yeah, it was like cut up tire. It was fucking. I don't know why that was a thing that they made, but like in Missouri, they didn't put sand. They put like cut up tires. They would cut up tires, and that would be the pit.
Yeah, like the playgrounds. It's probably better than sand for sure.
Yeah. Oh my god, it was miserable. But the thing is that it wasn't like cut smooth, so it had like some tires, some sharp ass edges. Like, bro, what the fuck is happening? I did push-ups. What's happening here?
That's fine. No, yeah. So I did that in basic when I got to my first unit. I found out about combatives. I'm like, sign me up for combatives level 2. Sign me up for level 2. I did boxing smokers my first year there. I did combatives tournament and boxing smoker. Dude, I made it to the 2 boxing smoker finals and I got beat by the same guy.
Oh, and then he had the reach.
No, it was another short dude, but he was just better than I was.
Probably knew how to box.
Huh?
Probably knew how to box.
Better than I could for sure. But like that's how I spent my time just trying to prove that I could be better than other people. Oh, because I'm short, so I'm gonna fucking just prove it to you. I'm gonna go out here and do this shit because my mentality, as fucked up as it is, it's like I already know I'm smarter than you, and I'm not talking about you, just in general. That's how I go about life. I'm like, I already know I'm smarter than you. What else can I do better than you? I was a cocky, stupid, young, 19, 20-year-old, whatever, and that's how I went about life. And so I was pissed that the same guy would beat me in the boxing smoker. Like I'd make it through this, and then in the finals that he always got me. Didn't get knocked out, but I got beat. Which is funny because when I went through level 1 combatives at the time, you had to be put to sleep. Like the instructors were making you like this is you need to know what it feels like because these chokes that you're applying on people, you need to know what you feel like.
Yep.
And so before we got to that before we got to that point of being put to sleep, like you need to learn how to get into the clinch, and the guy that was boxing against us was the guy that beat me. So I had to with no gloves just try to clinch him up and just get that dude's just there taking punches.
Fucking you up.
But hey, it wasn't fucking me up as much as other people. But yeah, whatever. They're 16-ounce gloves. But yeah, I mean that's me, a short dude my entire life. Will be the rest of my life. But always have that chip on my shoulder. So.
But that also helped you though, right? Like that also helped you get to the position where you're at. You know what I mean? Helped you get to like your E6 as fast as you did. Like that mentality wasn't just applied to just physicality. Like
no, it's not physicality. It starts there, but you just apply that to like everything else you do. That and I think growing up in Miami, growing up Latino, a minority, all that other stuff just put together, I think it just kind of makes up like who I am. It's like I have to prove to everyone else that I'm worthy, or that I'm not that I'm worthy, that I'm better. And if someone's like, people, I always go back to the size. Oh, because I'm a certain height, you're gonna underestimate me. Well, I'm gonna prove you wrong. Maybe I took that to the next level when Tony broke his arm, and I we played football, and he broke his arm when he fell. Maybe I shouldn't have slapped his fucking forearm when he was up in the air and his legs went out from underneath him. I'm sorry, Tony. My bad.
Yeah, he's all good though. I'm sure he's bounced back from it. Sure. Yeah, I'm sure he doesn't remember 20 years ago. I don't even know if that guy's like still even like alive. You ever wonder about that shit? Like the kids kids we grew up with? Like what? Like I know like Danny
I knew some shit about him, a few years back.
Can't talk
and then I lost touch because I actually kept in touch with his brother up until maybe 2009, 8, something like that.
Was his name Victor?
Miguel.
Victor, was it Victor? Miguel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard. I think I might have heard of something, but I don't want to talk about it. Like it wasn't the most positive of light, if I remember correctly. So I just kind of stayed away.
Hold on a second. I'm sorry. Your boy Felix over here is talking about how I like how short people usually measure to the quarter inch. I'm 5 foot and a quarter inch tall.
Real as shit, bro.
You're goddamn right we do. Felix.
Yo, shout out to my boy.
I'm 5'3" and 3/4, but I'm 5'4" with my combat boots on, so I'm just 5'4", and that's how it works.
Oh, that's the truest shit, bro. Felix is right on the money with that one, man. That's absolutely true.
You're trying to squeeze out every little bit of fight that you can. Sure.
Dude, you never hear anybody over 5'10" say that shit on 5'10" and a quarter.
It's like,
You've never.
It's 5'10" or 5'11".
5'9" and below. It's always like you're on 5'8" and a half. 5'8" and nobody does that. That is so fucking true, bro. Shout out to Felix.
Oh man.
Dude, my wife does that shit. My wife, I'm 5'1" and a quarter. I'm like, that's not how that works, though, right? Like you're 5'1". Like,
look, man, if she's 5 whatever and a quarter, she's trying to make sure that you have accurate measurements. She's just trying to give you correct information. That's all.
Yeah, that's so wild, man. It's so wild. That's so true, though, bro. I always like, damn, Felix with the haymaker joke, boy.
Damn. That's why I'm always trying to fucking prove people wrong, because we got shit like that going on. That's what I'm up against. It's a constant struggle, man. It's my day-to-day life. People like Felix.
it's always a low blow.
It's always, I don't even know him, but he's a friend of yours, so somehow he's a friend of mine. It's always the closest ones to you that do it to you.
Dude, Felix is the shit, man. Felix always has, I think Felix is anywhere between, I think he's like 42, 43 now. Mm-hmm. Dude, he always has parties. So like go to his, like he has birthday parties and you go to his house and he'll have like a video game thing, like the van outside. Yeah. And you're able to like play video games. I think one year we played like not laser tag, but yeah, I think it was laser tag. With guns and shit, like just always a blast, bro. Guy's awesome. Awesome family. Shout out to Jeanette. His beautiful, he has an amazing family. Good guy, bro. Really good guy. Puerto Rican. Amazing food. Last time his wife, bro, can throw it down and she made so much food. I got sick eating it, bro. I just couldn't stop eating. It was insane. My God, the puerco that she made was delicious, bro.
Listen, Felix, if you're still on, man, I haven't had my phone going in like a year and a half. All right, so whenever all these restrictions that we have in Ohio and everywhere else go down, I'm going back to Florida. Is he in Florida?
Yeah, he lives in St. Pete.
Oh, he lives by you. Okay, yeah. Hey, I want some mofongo. Yeah. If you or your wife could throw down, I'll be on my way as soon as the restrictions are lifted. I'm taking vacation.
Dude, is it weird how like the thought of even traveling like that is crazy?
Yeah, it's nuts because we can't. Like, I mean, I canceled my spring break because of that.
Yeah, like just the thought of like getting back to any kind of normalcy with that is wild to me. Like I said, like I was at the fucking truck shop yesterday and it was just, no, mind you, there was nobody around me because it was like the 2 mechanics and like one other customer there, but like he was inside the customer break room. And the thought I was like, fuck that. I'm not being around this guy's side. What'd he do? He hit you with a haymaker again?
No, I'm listening. No, he said that's the one thing she doesn't make. I'm like, no. That's all right. We'll work on it. We'll figure it out. No, yeah, man. Getting back to normal is gonna be. Watch, look. For me, it's gonna be weird, but I bet you people are so like they're so stir crazy that the minute that these restrictions are lifted and the state government or your local government says, hey, we can go back to gathering, people are going to be out at these bars, clubs, drunk, all sorts of crazy shit because that's human nature.
This is my like little theory, which will lead us into the next conversation, right? Like, or like theories and conspiracy theories and shit like that, because there's thousands of them now. I think when that happens, and I think you're right with that, I think it comes right back. because it'll be like, oh, we think it's, you know what I mean? It'll be like a tentative thing, like, oh, we think it's clear, and then like they'll open up a restaurant and like 1,000 people will flood to that, and then it'll bounce right back. You know what I mean? So like,
I think so.
I don't know.
1,000%.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's gonna come right back, and then like, oh shit, we're right back in the shit. Ohio gets locked down, New York gets locked down, Florida gets locked down, and it just goes right back to it because people are like clamoring to be out of their fucking house, bro.
Yeah. The scary part is not that it'll get locked down. It's that look, I could have it. I haven't gotten tested. I've been out 3 times maybe in the last 3 weeks just to go grocery shopping and back.
Yep.
But maybe I'm asymptomatic, and in 14 days maybe it works itself through its way through my system and I'm good and nothing happens. But there may be other people that are asymptomatic or pre-symptomatic and haven't gotten tested, and the minute that restrictions are lifted, they're out there among everyone else, and it just spreads. And because there are no restrictions, that shit will spread rapidly. And then in a week, you'll see thousands of cases just sprout. So that's the scary part, because there are people that it won't present itself. You know, some people will get it, but they won't know they have it because they're not affected by it.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be that happens, right? There's people, I've heard negatives, I've heard, you know what I mean? Like there's friends of mine who have been exposed to it, but in certain situations, like it's the same thing. Hey man, I'm in the middle of
you're sounding robotic as hell right now.
Of course I am.
No, you're good.
Dude, it's madness, bro. I don't know. The thought of again is weird to me. And it's weird, right? Because it's been normal a lot longer than it's been this shit. And the thought of it being back to what it was in February is crazy to me. You know what the fuck he's barking at? He's just barking.
Jesus, man. This is we're almost to the midway point in April, and we started taking these precautions before the government said anything at the very beginning of March. Like maybe at the end of February, I was already talking to you about we might not be going down there for spring break.
Yep. I remember hitting you up about it. I was like, "Hey man, I don't know if you coming down is the best idea."
Yeah.
Right, and that was like 1 or 2 days before Ohio even got shut down.
Yeah, and then Ohio was the first state, if not, them and New York to put these restrictions. And now they have protesters at the state capitol because they want businesses open back up. And it's understandable, right? People have to make a living. Not everyone can work from home. It's a strange situation. Some people are a lot less fortunate than others. So I always talk to, you and I talk about it. I talk to Mal about it. That we're whatever word you want to use. I say fortunate. Some people say blessed. Whatever. That we are in the position that we're in. So it's strange times right now. It's
certain. Yeah, I mean, that's the same thing for me, right? Like I have that job security, so I don't have that stress. But dude, it's so crazy, man. Like it's so weird that like in a span of a month and a week, right? Like 5 weeks, the whole world can change. It's insane, man. It's crazy, dude. Let me ask you something. Like I said, like the whole theory thing. What do you think? Have you heard about this 5G conspiracy theory bullshit? Have you heard about? I had to bring it up, right? Because
we have 100 countries or 80 countries that have coronavirus, and like a handful that have 5G towers. But 5G is causing the coronavirus.
Yeah, 5 countries have 5.
That's what a handful is. 5.
Yeah. Thank you for. You know what? You're right. Touche, sir.
Handful. 5.
All right. Shout out to how small your hand is, though.
Huh? You know what I mean? Like it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, the first one was a little aggressive. Yeah? Didn't need the whole breakdown.
Okay, my bad. I was just trying to. But some people are visual learners, so I was just trying to help you out.
No, you know what? I'm a visual learner. That's a little disrespectful that you just attacked me so personally. But yeah, dude, like it's so fucking strange that some dude went off on I think it was her cousin. Some dude went off on my wife. Her cousin went off on my. It was just weird. Like, oh, you're being too dumb and all this other shit. Where I'm like, oh, it's the truth. I was like, dude, first of all, dumbass. It's a conspiracy theory, right? It's not a conspiracy truth.
Right.
That's not how the saying goes. You fuck. So you don't have any actual truth.
Whoa,
you
calm
just
down.
think what it's. Sorry, hey, listen, man. I get a little aggressive about this shit. It just conspiracy theory. Like I have conspiracy theories about certain shit, right?
Yeah.
Again, but it's a theory. It's not a proven fact. Like there's things that I don't believe. Like there's things that actually are proven to be true. Like the Gulf of Tonkin, right? The whole getting into Vietnam War was a complete and utter fraud by
From
the
our
government and all that other shit.
From our government to get into Vietnam.
To get into Vietnam, which good job on that one, you fucks.
Yeah.
Like there is parts of that where you can't trust the government, but you have zero proof on all these other things where we're saying like, oh, it's 5G because that's why they're building the towers and that's why they're having everybody stay at home. I was like, all right, then how do you just? People are still dying though, so is that fake too, or is all of it fake, or is none of it true? It doesn't, or is all of it true? It doesn't make sense, bro. It just
I do enjoy
so
watching
weird.
it though, by the way.
I do enjoy watching it too. Obviously, like I'm a fan of conspiracy theories, but this one's just stupid to me. The 5G one. But what it's just I think, and what I told my wife was like, I think a lot of times, and I'll be honest, like I think I do it too. A lot of times when people have conspiracy theories is because the reality of it doesn't seem plausible.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like you have to like go to like, oh my God, it's the government or it's aliens or you know what I mean? Like, or it's corporations, all this other shit where like you can't just believe what you're actually seeing with your eyes.
Yeah. I mean, look, so we were talking about conspiracy theories and there's a website that tells you, there's a website called All Sides that tells you like what news publications or channels.
Shout out to your brother. Shout out to Eric.
Yeah, what did Eric say? Jesus' second coming is next.
It's all about 5G.
I think I liked it. That's why I got my phone. I'm responding as myself as opposed to you because it's just getting tiring. It's a little weird that you're responding in the third person sometimes when it's a comment about you.
That's a little weird.
Oh man, yeah. Hey,
sorry,
Eric. Come on now. Big.
I mean, you know, it's Eric, bro.
Hey, by the way, hey, I'm glad, Eric, if you're still watching, I'm glad that you're on because that means that you took a minute out of your time from all that ass eating that you've been doing. Because all I see are memes about how you love to eat ass and how you can't find a good woman because they don't know that you eat ass so good. I don't know. I'm just glad that you came up for some air and you can talk to common folk like us. Just make sure you brush your teeth. Scrape your tongue.
Yo, mouthwash, son. Mouthwash. Shout out to you just putting your brother on blast.
Hey, I'm not putting him on blast, dude. Hey, his profile is very public, and he's got those memes.
You don't have that many mutual friends, John.
Huh? Like, we do. Hey, do you see? Hey, that dude's got like 5,000 Facebook friends. What are you talking about? Look at him, all that ass. That's right.
He's a monster with the memes.
Yeah, he is. The memes that he put, I can't even like them because it might get traced back to me liking them. I'm like, I can't. I'll admire it and laugh, and then I can't make a comment or anything. But yeah,
you should take a screenshot and send it to him with like a thumbs up.
Oh man. Hey,
so what were you saying about conspiracy theories?
So conspiracy theories. So I go to this website called All Sides that tells you like where the different news sources fall. If they're center, left of center, way left, or right, left, far right. And then there's another one called Media Facts, I think is what it's called. And so it tells you about all the different types of media, whether it's left, right, conspiracy. It tells you if they're factual or not. So I found a website called Lark News. And I want you to read this article because I think this is going to... I enjoyed it. And I think you'll enjoy it as well. It is...
What are you about to show me?
It is no. It's not something that's not suitable for work. This is a wonderful article, but I just want you to read it. I think it'll show up here on the Facebook feed in like 5 seconds.
Christian couple maintains abstinence through first 2 years of marriage.
Yeah.
Of course, her name is Darla. Of course. What's his name? Jeff and Darla. Is that Croder?
Hold on. Yeah. So now it's up on the. Okay. So now it's up live. So the website is larknews.com. But go ahead and read this art. Just go ahead and read it, man. You have a radio voice.
I do have. No, but the thing is because of my internet, it's like pixelated. So was
So
it?
you can't
Is
read?
it Jeff and Dar?
Okay,
Yeah,
so
Jeff and
I'll read
Darla.
it. I'll read it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. Take care of it.
so the Christian couple maintains abstinence through first 2 years of marriage. This is Topeka, Kansas. John and
She has a
Darla
fake.
Crocker, who dutifully abstained from sex during their 14-month courtship, have remained abstinent after marriage and plan to do so indefinitely. If it was holy before, it must be double holy afterwards, Darla says.
Shout out to using the word double holy.
Because she's
It's like-
getting,
and
because it's not going in any of her holes, but oh shit, never mind.
we just got kicked off Facebook.
They have now completed 25 months of marriage without any sexual contact, going about their normal lives, jobs, and social calendar with no hint of relational strain. Sometimes after dinner, they will kiss in the kitchen and start having bedroom thoughts. Darla says, but they never fail to pull back. Darla breaks away to spray cool, misted water on her face. John eats a whole raw potato to take himself out of the mood. Okay. They don't know when they'll finally break the pledge, and they feel no pressure. After abstaining so long before marriage,
Eats a raw potato, bro.
dude,
He
I don't know.
eats a raw potato.
Hey,
All right.
that's what gets you out of the mood. So if you don't want to fuck your wife, just eat a raw potato. After abstaining so long before marriage, a few extra years is nothing, says Darla. Of course, we don't lord it over any other couple who decides to have sex after marriage. But for us, it's about staying faithful to the abstinence message and the holiness involved with that, says John, who seems unbothered. For us, true love waits and waits and waits.
And wait.
Hey, this is, by the way, this is a fake news website. So this is why I enjoy, because some people will read this and they'll think it's true. It's like The
Why did
Onion.
you say that? Son, we should have just rolled with it and made these fucks believe it.
No, because none of the people that are watching this.
Yo, like the raw potato thing obviously said it was fake. Right?
Look at Eric. Eric is like, Eric doesn't miss a beat. That they crazy. Somebody eating that that girl booty if she's still there. Oh shit. Oh my goodness. Let me send it back.
Shout out to Lark News, bro.
Lark News, man.
Shout out to Lark News. Screen share.
Yeah, no.
But dude, oh man, Rob, yo, the fact that's just pure comedy gold.
It is, man. So I like finding these websites that some people won't know that will even pop up in their feeds for sure, and they'll read things like this and they won't know that it's fake. But if you go to, I think, Media Bias or Media Facts, something along those lines, I forget the website, it tells you which ones are real websites, news sources, which ones are conservative or alt-right, and something on the left.
What does Breitbart fall under? I'm curious. I know I'm assuming far right, but is it actual news?
Shit, I don't know. Breitbart's got to be
Like One American News, I know it's like super far right. Like it makes Fox News look like MSNBC.
Yeah, far right syndicated news. I mean, they're not fake news, but they're just far right,
where everybody's to blame. Yeah, it's always weird how like far right and far left is always like a blame game of somebody else's issues.
Uh-huh.
There's never any like personal responsibility to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all emotional. It's all, no one wants to take any responsibilities.
Yeah, I mean if
But
you
they're entertaining to read.
if you take the cues from the orange guy, I don't take any responsibility at all, so it all makes sense. You know what I mean? In a press conference, he said that. How crazy is that?
As far as factual reporting, Breitbart, based off media bias factcheck.com, Breitbart has mixed. So sometimes it's factual, sometimes it's not, and it's far right. No, extreme right, based on their chart here. So
that would be like, if there was like a gap, that would be like all the way over extreme right?
Yeah, they're way out there.
Yeah, they're way the fuck out there.
Like, this is based
Isn't Breitbart funded by like white supremacists?
I don't know. I'm sure a lot of their followers have those leanings.
Leanings? Yeah.
I like that we came up with that same word, the politically correct term, leanings.
Yeah, you like that? Yeah. I mean, I can't offend everybody on every podcast. I get to, you know what I mean? We're an anti-vaxxer podcast though.
Fucking anti-vaxxers. I still don't like it. See, look, we shit on everybody. We're talking about Breitbart, and then we're shitting on anti-vaxxers who are as far left, as far left as you can think of.
This is a very EO podcast. This is very EO friendly.
Yeah. I don't know. We were talking about The Wire and Oz and men getting raped 3 times every episode in Oz, so I'm not sure that's EO friendly.
I don't know, definitely not. I mean, this podcast will definitely be banned from all PowerPoint presentations, but you know what I mean? It's on social media. But yeah, dude. What else? But yeah, conspiracy theories are weird, man. The 5G shit is just strange. I think it's people's justification because of like how shocking it is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's jarring to humanity, right? And to Americans, to every country, right? Where you're being told where to go, what to do, how many people you should be around. The fact that like the thought of like hugging somebody again seems weird, or greeting somebody by handshake is just strange. You know what I mean? Like that Dr. Fauci was like, "Yo, we should probably never shake hands again." Or it's wild. Dr. Fauci, yeah, he said it in a Fox News interview. He goes, shaking hands, I think I'm paraphrasing, shaking hands might be a thing of the past. It's like, that's crazy. Like, how do you do an interview now? Like, you know what I mean? When your job interview is like, you know, the handshake is important, you know what I mean? All that shit. But yeah, it might just be a different time.
Maybe. Skype, Zoom. I don't know. I never like dealing with people anyway. So if I don't have to shake your hand, like, who knows, right? Like I'm gonna go shake some guy's hand, but like 5 minutes before he had had his hand down his pants, like scratching his nuts. Nah, dude, I'm good. Just we'll do one of these form, not even a fist pump, like just like a form pump, bump, and that's it.
Yeah, you move on from that.
It brings me back to my days when we used to play street football, right? Like I always go back to Tony because I end up covering that dude. He was the tallest and the fastest because you know me, little man syndrome. I always have to like take on someone who's just supposed to be better than me. That forearm shiver. Boom. I don't know what the fuck we were thinking. We were playing on concrete and we're like 16 years old playing all out on concrete. The only thing we didn't do was tackle, but everything else was rough as shit.
Rough as shit. Bumping around all day. And shout out to the fact that like Tony always played in jeans.
That's right. Just baggy ass jeans down to his fucking like the back of his knees. The dude never wore a belt.
It was like
and a white beater.
It was like it was the jingles that were like really wide. You know what I mean? Where like because when he went to high, like I was like, dude, what the fuck is going on here? It's just wild, bro.
Yeah, and jeans, sagging his pants. Like I'm like, all right.
Yeah, all right, cool. I guess that's what works for you. I was never a sagger of pants.
What is whack, Big E Tank Vallejo?
What is whack? Did he spell whack correctly or incorrectly? Because whack is with an H.
He spelled it WACK.
Of course he did. I mean, he's the red hat wearer, so of course he didn't spell that correctly.
Oh, did you get upset because we were talking about the orange guy?
He's probably crying right now, right?
Don't get back upset. Hey, we talk about anti-vaxxers and super uber liberals. We talk shit about them too. We just tuned in at the wrong time. We talk shit about everybody.
Episode 111, we shit on white liberals.
Oh, all of them.
Which are the outrage mob.
Oh no, he goes, it's whack because we weren't tackling. You know what though?
First of all,
he wasn't old enough to play with us.
Let's really put your brother on blast.
No. Let me. You remember? Go ahead.
No, I got this. You remember how often he would cry, bro, because we wouldn't let him play with us? He was like 6. First of all, I think he was like 10 or 15 years younger than us. I think he was like 6 or 7 or 8. He was always a big ass kid, right? Yeah. So I never knew how old he was. He was anywhere between like 6 and 15 because he was tall. He was like your height.
He was taller than me by like the time he was 11. He was already taller than me.
Yeah, exactly. So he's always been a big ass kid, but he was always run crying to your mom, mama, and just run. And like ball, like just like shout out to the fact that he didn't cry from one tear duct. He cried from all of them. Like I remember, it was just like the entire eyes would just be gushing, and he's like running to your mom. That's all I remember from
that dude. Though that dude, like I think I don't know if he would get picked on because he didn't want to hit people. He didn't want to hurt people.
He's
But
strong as shit, bro.
when he
He's a
finally broke, he beat the shit out of everybody. Look, I remember I used to go watch him play Optimus football, right?
He's a monster, bro.
Right, and he was on the D line, defensive end, and he didn't want to hit these kids. Like, and I would talk to him. I'm like, dude, like, what are you doing? And I remember this line. He might not remember, but I remember this shit to this day. His response to me was, I don't want to hit them too hard because their father might get mad at me. And my stepdad, his dad was working for an airline for the airlines, and so he worked nights, right? He worked 10, 12-hour shifts, so he missed a lot of the games. And I'm like, look, you're playing, they're playing, you hit them as hard as you fucking can. Yep. All right? And if their father gets mad at you, I'll be there to talk to him, and he can fucking take it up with dad. Like, that's just how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not because he was holding back because he knew he was gonna hurt somebody, and he didn't want to hurt these fucking kids.
Yeah, he's a monster of a kid, bro. He's always been uber strong, bro. Like, he's always been all the strength you never have or will have.
God damn it! I knew it was coming. I knew it was too good to be true.
He got all of that, right? Like all the strength
I never had, really,
and the height, and just all of that. He got it, right? Like, he won that. And in the gene pool, he got that. You got, like, I guess the hair? I don't really know.
Look, man, I'm thankful for the hair.
All right, don't do that again. With a coconut. Yo, Eric, please beat your brother up next time you see him because he does, like, a coconut oil regimen.
I got a coconut oil regimen for the hair. That's right. I'm not afraid to say it.
It's very weird.
If you had hair, you'd have a regimen, but you don't have any hair. Yeah, so that's your problem.
I refuse to be LeBron. I will not have a soul.
No, don't bullshit me. You shaved your head because you were LeBron. You were both getting your fucking lame ass haircuts from the same dude.
I'm a better man in the fact that I gave in and didn't start doing a weave lace front where I had to have a headband to hold it down. I gave it up because that shit. His hairline was gone in Miami.
Dude, you gave it up when? Like 4 days ago when you shaved your head?
Your hairline does not come back as you get older. You know what I mean? It's over. Like, how did LeBron age and he got more hair? Fuck out of here, bro.
I mean, like, I'm my hairline. I told Mel, I said at some point, tell me when I need to shave this shit off. All right? I know, but you hate it, dude. I know you hate it that you can't just go like this. I know it sucks for you.
No. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. I appreciate the fact that you think you're tall enough where you have to duck your head into the camera. That's what I find frustrating.
Because I'm so tall, dude. I gotta.
Real quick.
Hey, by the way, Eric, I don't go. How about you come visit me? How about you come up here?
Well, we're literally in a pandemic, and he can't travel to a state that's shut down.
That's the only excuse you have right now.
That's a literal excuse, though. It's actually happening. But yeah, man, it's just weird. It's just fucking weird. Yeah, but John, again, last question about your height, right? You're honestly, if we're just last question on this podcast. Next episode, obviously, it'll come back.
You have more? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely don't have your feet reaching the ground, right? Like, there's a good chance your feet are on the wheels of the chair, right? Not on.
They're definitely on the legs that are sticking out. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can touch the ground now. No, right now only the balls of my feet are touching. I got to do this right now. Hold on. Yeah, they're definitely swinging. Wait, give me a second. You'll see it. You'll see it live.
Yeah.
Now I'm touching. Now I'm good. Knees are at 90 degrees right now. But then you can't see me on camera.
Jesus. Holy shit. You have that pump all the way up, man. Oh, bro. This is wild. But yeah.
And that's why I have a chip on my shoulder.
I mean, as you should.
4'10", Eric, really 4'10"? Like, that's mom's height. She is 4'11", maybe. Our aunt in Spain is 4'10".
Your mom is definitely shorter than that by now. Right? Like,
for sure. Yeah, she's got.
Yeah, like my mom was like 5'9", almost 5'10" when we were kids. Like, my mom's like 5'5" now. Like, women shrink as they get older because of
everyone shrinks.
Everyone shrinks. Oh, damn, that's gonna suck for you, bro.
I just started short, so I'm fucked.
You're fucked. You're gonna get to 5 foot in our lifetime. That's fucked up.
Yeah, my wife might divorce me just for that.
I mean, she should though, right? Like 5 foot is fucked up. But yeah, man. UFC 249 being canceled sucks. But I don't know what like I said, I've been watching highlights on soccer. Is your brother still shitting on you?
Yeah, he said I'm 5'10". or 4'10", and then he goes, "You're not that much taller than her."
You're really not though. Everybody else, like I remember
Dude,
vividly,
I'm like half a
like,
foot taller than her. That's a lot.
nah, they're not half a foot taller than her. I remember everybody else had to like hunch over to say hi to your mom and get like bendición. You
And
not so
get
much.
bendición. Me not so. I still had to do it. I still had to do it.
No, it was more like a face to face. It was more like a face to face, John.
Not quite.
If we're being honest, yeah. But yeah, man, UFC 249 being canceled sucks. But like I said, like I've just been watching highlights of like soccer on YouTube, bro, to try to get my sports in somehow.
I have not. But by the way, how did this turn into the shit on John episode? We need to get the myth back on so that we can shit on Ben, and maybe even Eric, so I can shit on him. But I don't know. With the memes that he has, I think he might just it might backfire.
He'll show up on the podcast with like brown stuff all on his. Like,
he'll show up with brown stuff with that fucking what was that show? Damn, those dudes with all those dudes had these fucking long ass beards.
Oh,
Duck Dynasty. He'll show up with this fucking
Dynasty.
Duck Dynasty beard with fucking brown shit all over his mouth.
Brown, yeah.
Or just shit, because that's what he'll be doing. He'll be eating ass.
Hey guys, sorry, I got 5 minutes. I gotta go dive right back in it.
Hey, hold on. Who's got a baby wife?
Who's got a fresh one? Oh man, crazy shit. But yeah, dude, I don't know, man. Dude, like I said, it's just so crazy, man. What a crazy fucking time to be alive. This shit talking helps though, man. Like doing these podcasts, because I mean, what the fuck else are we gonna do? Like we could only talk so much politics and all that other shit. We gotta be stupid about this shit sometimes, man. Shout out to your brother.
Yeah, for sure. He stayed on. Shout out to my brother for talking shit
the entire way.
Are they? They must be like. They must be texting or sending messages. They must be sending messages to WhatsApp. Yeah, I see. They must be sending messages through WhatsApp, right? Like Chris is like, "Hey, on this podcast, I'm gonna go with the low blows, and then you get on the other one and talk shit about him." Like I get it. Look, you know what it is? Because I'm the older brother. I'm the shortest. Yeah. But I'm the oldest brother. They resent me for it. Look, guys, let's get it out in the open. Mom loved me the most, and you guys resent me for it. It's okay. It's okay.
Dude, it's so crazy how all brothers have that conversation. Like me and Josh do that shit all the time. We're on like, well, let's be honest. Like me and my brother both know my mom's dogs are her favorite. So we're like 3 and 4 on the list. Jesus. So it goes like, she has like 2 dogs. It's Happy and Bella, and then we're like, me and Josh alternate depending on like who calls her more that week. Where it becomes like if it's me or him, and he's in Japan where he's like 13 hours ahead. So like it's crazy.
I'm glad my wife finally came up here and tried to defend my honor. I'm not ashamed. My wife is out here throwing haymakers, trying to defend my honor because I got everybody on this. You, my brother. I'm glad Felix is just kind of laying low and listening to this shit talking that's going on. This shit talking storm that's going on.
She's gotta obviously do that, man. I mean, she married you, she loved you, she chose you, so she's gonna defend you. But your brothers are stuck with you. It's very different. You know what I mean? Like they don't have a choice, so they. Obviously she's gonna love you more. Yeah, she has to defend you. She's the taller one. You know what I mean? Like she's not gonna let you get bullied.
She is.
Yeah, I know. Your entirety of your relationship, she's been the taller one, even at your tallest point. But yeah.
Oh man.
So what did you? I mean, we talked about it already. We could cap it off with this. What did you think about Bernie Sanders dropping out? We knew it was gonna happen. We saw that coming. You know what I mean? But now it's official.
It's official. He's been right this entire time. Though about everything, and we're seeing it now, right? Felix mentioned it before. If we had UBI, there'd be we'd have a safety net for people that need for everyone that needs that safety net. If we had affordable healthcare, again, we've talked about this before. I was in the Army for almost 12 years, right? So we had TRICARE.
Yep.
We call it free because it was coming out of taxes. But now we still have TRICARE, so it's really low cost healthcare. Socialized healthcare, whatever you want to call it. We need those things in this country. We don't need to be a socialist or a communist country per se, but we need social programs to protect its citizens for like events like this.
Yeah.
So he's been right this whole time. I mean, look, he dropped out. I think what happened was what we knew was going to happen. What happened with Hillary, like the Democrats, um, they rallied around Biden. Uh,
Yep.
even when Bernie was winning, like he won a couple states, he won Nevada, and then after that, I think they went on to South Carolina. But before those losses, they were talking about rallying around Biden, and these were in interviews, like these were public statements by other Democrats that they need to rally around
Yep.
Biden and ensure that Bernie doesn't get elected because for whatever reason they thought that he couldn't beat Trump in an election, and I think he had the better shot
Yep.
than
Every
Biden.
poll at the time had Bernie beating Trump in every single poll. But yeah, it was the Democratic establishment that kind of puts it behind it, where they're just like, hey man, nah, it can't be him because he's a threat. He's also a threat to their plan, right? Because again, we've talked about it again, like Democratic establishment, Republican establishment.
They're all
It's all the
thing.
same shit.
I tell
It's all the
Mel
same
and everyone else
fucking
all the time. I'm like, these dudes are out playing golf together. They're at barbecue. They're going to dinner with each other's families. It's all the same
thing.
thing. They don't give a shit about you. They give
I
a
don't
shit
give a
about
fuck.
those lobbyists and those people that pay for their campaigns to get them there.
Yeah.
Democrat, Republican, whatever.
When people don't have that, when people don't add that conversation, people don't add that to the conversation, they're missing the nuance and any kind of valid point behind it. When they're just thinking like, oh, it's this one person. No, this one person. But you have to look at who funds that one person,
Right.
who gives them their marching orders and their talking points. It's just weird. We talked about it, I think probably a month ago. Like after he lost like the first Super Tuesday, I was like, oh, this shit's over. Like there's no way he bounces back, and you just kind of move on from that. You know what I mean? So you just kind of, I mean, I saw it coming. That's why, like, I didn't go on a rant about it, about him dropping out and all that shit. Like, he's been right on every level of what he's saying with his policies, right? He just marketed himself wrong, and he approached it. You know what I mean? He approached it in a wrong way. But
He definitely market. He switched. He should have switched those terms out. Instead of calling himself a democratic socialist, he should have called himself a social democrat, because again, that's more along the lines of what you see in countries like the Nordic countries. And we talk about this all the time: Sweden and Denmark, Norway, Iceland, and they're not communist countries. They have safety nets for their citizens, but they have mixed
economy.
They're mixed capitalistic economies, and they're doing fine. But I knew it was gonna happen. I knew it was a matter of time. But shout out to Bernie, which was it like 2 weeks ago when a reporter asked him about like what he was gonna do with his campaign. He's like, "We're trying to solve a fucking pandemic here." Like he lost he lost his school. And he's like, "Hey, we're trying to figure this shit out for our state and for the country."
Yeah. Dude, it's so weird, right? Because you think about it, I think at last count it was like 10 million people unemployed. My wife is one of them. I have multiple friends that have lost their jobs through different, you know what I mean, different things that are no longer viable, like gyms and shit like that.
Yeah.
And you look at that as like, dude, like all these people that not only did they lose their jobs, they lost their health insurance through no fault of their own.
Right.
So what are they supposed to do if they get sick? That's all gonna be a self-pay bill and out of pocket. Like that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, and this was his last chance, right? What is he? 76?
No, it's over. Yeah, it's over.
It's over for him, right? And I don't see anyone else that's like him that's going to make some kind of splash or anything in the Democratic Party. So AOC, she's just
too young.
Yeah, well, not only she's too young, she started coming back towards the center too much. Like she's just doing the same thing, being part of the establishment. She wasn't supporting Bernie. She had to kind of be forced, or his campaign manager was reaching out to her people constantly to try to get that support, and there's no change. Again, it's the same thing. Republican, Democrat, it doesn't matter who's in there. There has to be a complete change to the system, and as long as it stays the way it is, like people are going to continue to suffer. And the truth is that even though we have it good in this country, like I acknowledge that we have it good.
Absolutely,
there are places that have it a lot worse. We can do better. We could do better for the citizens, right? If we're willing to give trillions to corporations who aren't, that money's not trickling down to people because people are getting fired and they're losing healthcare. then why are we not taking care of the people instead? Like, if you're giving this money to the corporations, it's just so what? So they can stay in business, so they can produce more and give more to their shareholders because they're firing people, so it's not going to their employees. So what are we doing? But
dude, I hit up my boy like Danny, right? I hit him up because he's a math teacher. Like I had looked up the number, but I guess part of me had never seen a number that big on my calculator, so I didn't quite know how to read it. So like if you gave, I think there's 329,450,000 people in this country, right? If you gave every American citizen, right, $500,000, right, which is more money than most of them would see, right? Besides the people that are billionaires, right, and you take those aside, it would be like 1.6 to 1.7 trillion dollars, and then you don't have to worry about, you know what I mean, about anything, because you gave every, you know what I mean, and you gave every citizen. If you want to be a dick and give like a married household 250, you know what I mean, each person, so it's 500 total, and even then you could find loopholes to save money. Then you don't have to worry about all this other stuff, and you just did that, and then you taxed that, which gave everybody universal basic health care. You know what I mean? Where shit like this, they're covered. You don't have to worry about having to bail out corporations because you're gonna have people who have $500,000 on money to spend that, well, as soon as they're able to come out of their homes, you're gonna boom into the economy. You're giving it right now to corporations. You're giving that money 4.5. That next count could be another $6 or $7 trillion. That they're just gonna hoard that money, and it's not gonna be fuel pumped back into the economy. And then what? It's just, again, dude, I'm not even an economist, and I, you know what I mean? I just look at the numbers like, what the fuck?
Hey, Felix is over here just on a tear, but he's right. He's going off. He's right. Look out for Andrew Yang in 2024.
Podcast, but absolutely. He always says no.
Yeah.
He always says no. He's like, oh, I can't. I don't want to talk that long, bro. You're literally writing and responding.
He's writing and responding. Just get on the show and talk. It's so much easier to just talk. But look, he's right. He says, look out for Andrew Yang in 2024, and if Biden gets elected, he might not make it past his term. Which he's right. Look, Biden is like me after like 3 glasses of fucking Jack, right? He could barely get a word out. That dude can't form a sentence. So
his vice president, his VP pick is huge, bro. It is huge, bro. It has to be, bro. I swear to God, if it was like a Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan Chase or somebody like that, forget that shit.
By the way,
that most important pick ever. Same thing as Hillary. That fucking terrible Tim Kaine pick.
Yeah.
Who?
What?
Who, bro? Who did that? Who did it? Are you gonna pick the guy from Virginia? Motherfucker, you didn't go to Wisconsin or Michigan or anything. Fuck out of it.
Hey, by the way, the first week of everything shutting down, we had 3.3 million people requesting unemployment. The week after that, 6.3, and then the week after that, 6.6. We were at 18 million people, 16, almost 17 million people requesting unemployment. That's Florida, crazy, and it's only going to grow.
Yeah, Florida has not had a single as of right now that I know of, has not had a single person collect unemployment, and people have been laid off starting at the beginning of March, and it's supposed to take like 3 or 4 days. Not a single person. Orange County, which is where Orlando is, right, only has 1 person for the entire county to process unemployment.
Jesus. Because
the governor that we have and the governor that we had didn't believe in unemployment and raped it to the highest level.
I bet he did.
Underfunded it, undercut it, because Rick Scott is also the fuckface who didn't want people to get this payout, because if you give poor people or middle class or lower middle class or a little bit of money, they're gonna just stop working, because that's how people work. But you just give them $2,000 and like, hey man, I'm rich. Nah, motherfucker, we got bills every month.
Yeah.
Stupid, bro.
Man, we talked about it early in the show, right? 1984, George Orwell.
Yeah.
I read it 20 plus years ago, and now I'm listening to it on Libby, which is an app. Instead of Amazon, instead of Audible, instead of buying the book, you just rent it from your local library and you hold it for like 21 days. But it's pretty similar to like what's going on, right? The government's telling you stay in your house, you can't do this, you can't do that. I mean, not to that extreme, but as soon as that stuff started happening, and when Ohio did it, I understood perfectly. Like, it made sense to stay in your house and do this, and it made sense to me because I can work from home. So again, I wasn't seeing the effects of it. but everyone else that can, and the government's saying, hey, you need to do this, and law enforcement is allowed to fine businesses that are trying to open up if you're not deemed essential, or people if they're not going to places to, if you're not going grocery shopping or to seek medical attention, like you should be staying in your house. Immediately, that reminded me of that book, and I had to wait a while because I think other people were thinking of the same thing. Usually, that book should be available for rent, like right away to loan it from the library. But it took like 2 weeks for me to be able to loan it out, and I just got it today, and I started listening to it today, and I forgot. I just realized how dark that shit was. I'm only like 25 minutes into it, and
Dude, it's dark
it's
right away. Like
immediately.
There's not even like a what it was like a 4-story or whatever, like the four like in opening this, it doesn't even give you like, oh, Georgia, or like this person says this. It just goes right into the darkness, or like it brings up these characters, and then it starts saying Big Brother's always watching. Like the theme is just like this heart pumping holy shit. Where like I was like, okay, I'm going through in the middle of the pandemic. Maybe this isn't the best time to listen to this book. But it's a great book, bro.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Bro, he's gonna buy car parts.
Times.
Fucking
yeah.
Your brother said he's gonna buy car parts.
Hey, that's a good call. You make that money, make money. Absolutely.
Man, make money. Flip it.
Hey, who do you buy car parts from?
They'll probably respond.
Because across the street from me, there's this guy who a few years ago, before I moved in, he purchased 2 lots, and he tore down the house on one, and then just made it one enormous house on 2 lots.
Right.
And my neighbor tells me about him all the time. He owns Car Parts Warehouse. It's probably, and they sell to like mom and pop shops and other companies. So I was wondering if that's who he buys his car parts from, because it's not just a regional thing.
I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends and family that like are super into cars, and like my cousin Alan, bro, he's a monster with that shit. Like he like supercharges his cars, and he goes to like racing competition, all that other shit. It's crazy. Like I'm not a car guy in any way whatsoever. So I respect it though. That's a hell of a thing to do, man. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, bro. I don't know going forward who the next, I guess, progressive leader is gonna be, because I don't. I mean, Yang maybe, but I think the thing with progressives, bro, that like bother me, in a sense that like with Andrew Yang endorsing Joe Biden for what, you know what I mean. If Andrew Yang just would have gone to like Elizabeth Warren route and not endorse anybody and just kind of like, you know what I mean, like done his thing and become a commentator, like people remember that, you know what I mean. Like none of Andrew Yang's stances align with any way with Joe Biden, but it becomes like, oh, we just got to beat Trump, and people feed into that. Like at some point you got to be the maverick and stand out a little more, you know what I mean, and actually have your own belief, and not just because the media or that machine of establishment says so. Like I guess because I'm so anti-machine in that way.
No, that's the problem. That's the problem with the establishment, right? Like you can't, if you're a maverick, you end up being like Bernie, and then you have no support, because we have this 2-party system essentially. So you can't really be a 3rd-party candidate. It's considered a waste of a vote. It's like, why is it? Why do there have to be only 2 parties? Why? This is the reason why the founding fathers didn't want political parties to begin with, because of shit like this.
There was tons of parties, tons of them.
Right.
Like libertarians were bigger than they were. There was tons of dude. Like you had like blatantly racist parties. You know what I mean? Like that they were like, I hate N-words part. You know what I mean? Like or whatever. Whenever like they rocked with that shit. Like they had that, and at some point it just became the illusion of choice, where you're only if you're told one or these are the only choices you have. You're obviously not getting everything you want, right? Because these people are telling you this is what we offer, and you have to be like, I guess I kind of agree with that stuff, because it's not realistic, right? Like, it's not. There's some things I'm conservative on, obviously not. You know what I mean? The biases and all that other shit. There's some things that are like, okay, this should be a little smaller than that, and because people are nuanced, right? To think that like because you vote Democrat that you are all this all the way, it's strange, bro. I don't know.
By the way, I just sneezed. That wasn't a dab. I wasn't dabbing on camera. I was sneezing into the crook of my. I got the
You
Rona.
got the fucking Rona,
No,
bro.
I'm good.
Yeah, man.
Bro, you're talking
Yeah,
about watching soccer highlights, right? ESPN, since there's no sports, they're running. I think yesterday they were running the finals between the
Yep.
Spurs and the Heat. And
Yeah, I watched that.
I tried. I tried. I started watching it, and Mel was like, "I don't want to watch this. We already saw this." I was like, "Yeah, I know how it's gonna end," and which was a good finals because that was the one that the Heat won with that Ray Allen shot,
Yeah.
and then they went to Game 7.
Yeah.
Yeah,
90. Dude, I remember the score of that game. 93-89 was I think it was like the final score of Game 7.
right.
Like Tim Allen. Uh, home improvement ass shit. Tim Duncan missed that tip in bunny right
Yeah.
at the thing, and then I think Chris Bosh or LeBron James came in and scored it, and then that was pretty much game because it was just free throws back and forth. And then Game 6 had Kawhi Leonard miss the free throws, Manu Ginobili missed the free throws that would have gave him the game, and then Ray Allen hit that shit in overtime. It was I remember that that's why I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that starved for sports. I put it on, and when Mel was like, I don't really want to watch it, I was like, yeah, I really don't want to watch it either. I wasn't too into it. I saw it was exciting when you saw it. I mean, that's one of those games that you don't really forget that, right? It's one of those moments that you don't forget. Sort of like Cleveland fans don't forget when they won their one championship. Jesus Christ, here we go again with your shitty 1855 internet. Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to get Benjamin back on here because he's got his eyes closed. And so either he looks like he's deep in thought or like he's about to bust a nut. I don't know. I don't want that to be the final image on the podcast. So we're going to disconnect Ben. We're going to bring him back on. All right. Let's see if that'll work. That's disrespectful, by the way. In the middle of me talking, your internet just fucks up. Dude, update your fucking internet. Get your game up. Absolutely free Joe Exotic. Hey, did they reopen I heard they reopened the cases for what's her name? Carol Baskin. They're reinvestigating her. Is that true? Hey, Eric, I binged that show. I was working. It was on a Friday, and I saw all 7 episodes. I think it was 7 of them. Yes, let's free Joe Exotic for sure.
Free Joe Exotic all day. Well, not really free, right? Because he did try to.
Hey, that's right, Felix. You're right. He needs to upgrade that DSL. It's not even DSL. He's got
It's really not DSL.
He's got satellite.
I'm running it off.
So
yeah, I'm running it off my phone, bro.
Dude, can you move into the 1900s now? Like you're in post Civil War era, 1865, can and a string communications. Can you do something?
See this? Can you see? Is this offensive to you?
Can you do something? Can you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 megabits per second?
I'm doing 2. I'm doing 2 right here.
Yeah, I don't even think you even have that.
I probably don't. Honestly, on my phone I have probably less than that. But it is what it is, man. It's what we got. But yeah, it was cool watching those games, man. It's the last time they won.
That dude's got net zero, Felix. It's not even AOL. You remember net zero, the free CDs or the free 3.5 discs back in the day?
Dude, I have
where you got 10 hours of free internet.
I have Internet Explorer from fucking big Windows 1. Fuck. But yeah, man. I don't know.
Yeah, so no, I think I was talking about the sports. I'm not really that starved for sports, and ESPN has nothing to do except play old shit.
Yeah. Dude, they had Game 7 on of the Cavs when they beat the Warriors. But yeah, man, just trying to stay sane, bro. I think my wife is watching Grey's Anatomy right now.
Hey, by the way, I saw a movie yesterday. I recommend it not because it's great, but because it's one of those movies that's so bad that you can't stop watching it.
Mm-hmm. Tremors is like that.
I saw Tremors back in the day. I saw it in the 90s, probably around the time. Dude, it's a cult classic.
Shout out to the fact that there's 5 of them. First of all,
I only saw
all 5 of them are. All 5 of them are on Netflix. All 5. Dude, the second one is so bad.
They're hilarious.
dude, but like you watching and it was like, you know what? I need this because I need to see something that has nothing to do with nothing, and it's just enjoyable.
Bro.
What movie were?
I was
gonna
watching, and I've been meaning to watch this movie for a long time, and so I'm ashamed that I'm gonna say this, but my wife fell asleep. She couldn't deal with it.
Mad, John.
No, it's called From Paris with Love. John Travolta, Jonathan Rhys Meyers, where like he's like a CIA agent or something undercover working at the U.S. Embassy in Paris protecting some ambassador.
Okay.
Right? And then Travolta's like the shit talking, like higher ranking guy that flies in on some crazy mission to stop terrorists. It was ridiculous. It was terrible, and I could not fucking stop watching it. I'm like, I've been meaning to watch this fucking movie. It's midnight. I'm gonna play this shit.
I can't remember the last good movie John Travolta's been in. Like legit,
bro.
Like, I can't.
Really, I'm sorry. Hold on a second. We got fucking Steven over here, out here looking like The Rock and a white Kevin Hart. This dude, is this the guy that every time he gets on the show, he looks like he's being held captive by fucking terrorists? Like Al Qaeda got him captive with bad lighting and a shitty beard.
Yeah, the fact that he wants to be a co-host on the podcast.
The Lollipop Guild. All right. I'll give you the Lollipop Guild. That's good. You got to come up with something new now.
Solid. That's a solid one.
It's a solid one, though. He's gonna get some mileage out of that.
I like that he wants to be a co-host on this show and refuses to just buy a light bulb. Like not even a light, just a light bulb. Just a light bulb. That's it. One that isn't dim as shit. You know like how, remember growing up you always had that extra light in the corner?
Yeah.
Where you had like 3 settings. He refuses to even have that. You know what I mean? It's kind of frustrating. But fucking Lollipop Guild is solid.
It is.
But yeah, man, I don't know. What the hell were we talking about before we were interrupted by the ginger? From Paris with Love.
From Paris with
Love. Name the last good John Travolta movie. I'll wait, bro.
Phenomenon? Face Off. That shit was like late 90s. Face Off.
Dude, if you go back and
Nicolas Cage 22 years ago.
Go back.
I love that movie.
Go back and watch that movie. It's fucking terrible.
No, it's great.
It is.
I want to take his face off.
And like the weird, oh my god, Nicolas Cage, bro. Yo, shout out to Nicolas Cage. He's a national treasure.
I saw it by the way after like probably around 2009, 2010. I saw it again. So 12 years after it came out, it was terrible. And again, I couldn't stop watching it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, of course not. You can't. Nicolas Cage in National Treasure is probably the best Nicolas Cage. Because like Nicolas Cage, even in like Ghost Rider, was terrible.
I haven't seen it. There's a movie called The Sorcerer's Apprentice. I don't know if that's any good. Probably not. It's got Nick Cage in it.
It's enjoyable. I'll say that. Yeah. It's not. It's enjoyable. You know, it's one of those where you're like, all right, I'll watch it. You know what I mean? But it's not like I'm not gonna give you like a rating on it because I can't give it a. It's like it's a 2.5. Maybe all right. If we're going like 4 stars, it's like a star and a quarter. You know what I mean? You see what I did there?
A star and a quarter. Like, I see what you're doing. Yeah. Just give it 2 stars.
Like that.
But it's okay because it doesn't have inferiority complex, so you can just go ahead and give it 2 stars. It's okay. It's not a short movie.
It can't quite reach the floor. You know what I mean? But it's there.
Jesus, it's not that's going real far back. Look Who's Talking 1 and 2. That's got to be what, like 92, 94, 93, something like early 90s. Jesus.
What? Those were John. Was that John Travolta? I thought that was Steve Guttenberg.
No, I thought that was Travolta. Travolta and who else was there?
Travolta, Steve Guttenberg, and Guttenberg, remember from like Police Academy. And that was John Travolta.
Yeah, Travolta.
Oh no, I'm thinking of like 3 Men and a Baby. My bad.
Yeah, wow. That's exactly what I'm thinking of. Yeah, no. Look Who's Talking was Travolta, and I think Christy Alley. I gotta say the name right because one's an actress and one's a porn star. They have similar names. One is Christy Alley, the other one is Kirstie Alley. I can't tell the difference. I don't know, or maybe it's Christy Alley.
Really care.
I don't know.
On the other side of that, think of like a bad Tom Cruise movie. What's the worst Tom Cruise movie?
I'm so glad that you brought it up and I didn't. Yeah. The greatest movie of all time. What is it? It's Top Gun. It's got to be. TNT plays it like 45 times a day during the summer.
Yeah. Dude, they play it all the time. Like I legit, like I was thinking about this because we were trying to watch Minority Report because it's on Netflix. Doesn't last. It doesn't. It's not as good now because Colin Farrell's really annoying in it, and it's hard to watch just because like the way it's shot. It's like weird, like gritty, and I don't know. It's fucking weird. But there's not that many bad Tom Cruise movies. Like Tom Cruise is the opposite of John Travolta. John Travolta makes terrible movies. Tom Cruise makes solid movies, man.
Yeah, like is it Scientology? Should we give all the praise and props to Scientology?
First of all, we're not doing that on this podcast because I'm not going clear for anybody. Like that's just not happening.
And the thing is, Travolta disappeared, right? Like he was big in the 70s, and then he kind of disappeared until like the late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s, and then after that, he started making shit movies. I don't know, but he's got a plane, bro. So he's got a jumbo jet or some shit. So he's
done well for himself. He's done well for himself. He's good. He doesn't. Us talking shit about him doesn't change his money. But yeah, man, fucking crazy, bro. You got to watch Tremors on Netflix though.
Listen, Steven, the man chatter is doing just fine, and the co-host does not sit on a booster. All right. If you want to talk about my seating situation, we need to get your shit straight first. All right. When we get your seating and your lighting situation, when you don't have toilet paper behind you, and you don't have your wife holding you hostage, and then you got a fucking gun just out there, like you're waiting for someone to break into the house, then we can talk.
Yeah, that's great. Shout out to him saying that I started chemo. He lost his hair 10 years ago, but he wants to give me shit. He lost his hair in his 20s.
Did he? He looks like his beard is going through fucking chemo. Like he just went through chemo. Dude, he got braids. He
got braids in high school, and then that changed his whole hairline. Why he thought braids were a good idea, I still don't know to this day, and I judged him immediately. I was like, bro, take those fucking braids out your hair.
I had cornrows when I was in college. My hair grew like way out. You know how I used to have like the spiky or whatever hair? That shit grew out to like here. And I was like, you know what? Let me try something. And
real quick.
I had like the Justin Timberlake look, the Latino Justin Timberlake. I don't know if there's such a thing, but that was me.
No, stop. Don't ever say that. Okay? Don't Latino Justin Timberlake is Ricky Martin, you fuck.
No, that's not him.
No, but definitely. Shout out to Felix saying that there's a theory that Top Gun is a gay love movie.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Why between Maverick and Goose?
No, I mean 100%. If it's not Maverick and Goose, it's whoever Val Kilmer is fucking in that movie, which is probably his co-pilot, right?
His co-pilot, Iceman. Yeah. Who was Iceman's co-pilot? His wingman. God damn, I can't think of who it was.
Pull that up because Val Kilmer is definitely banging that dude out.
That was like
God, that's so aggressive.
That's terrible.
Dude, we started this with Oz.
We're ending it with Val Kilmer banging his wingman. Jesus.
He banged his wingman out, bro. I mean, how else? Pull up his name.
God, this is terrible.
Pull up his name. I was gonna say something, but it might get me kicked off Facebook. So I'm gonna just. Yeah.
Oh, hey, aren't they making another Top Gun, by the way? Like a Top Gun 2020?
Yeah.
Top Gun Maverick. Yeah.
Yeah, Top Gun Maverick. Yep. No, shout out to him. Hey, Felix, how do you know this website, bro? GayStarNews.com?
Jesus. Hey,
son, what are you?
He is an investigative reporter, is what we'll call him.
Yo, shout out to. We have an investigative reporter on the podcast, man.
Jesus.
Yo, Felix, from now on, send us like random shit like this, and we'll cover it on Sunday's episode. Gaystar News. Yo, I don't even want to know what happens when you start typing that website in when you're like www.gay. Then it just gets weird after that, I'm assuming. I'm not clicking that link, bro. Fuck that, Felix. Oh man. So
you click on that link and you're gonna have all the pop-ups fucking come out. All the pop-ups.
I'm gonna have to fire pit my fucking laptop.
How the fuck does he know that shit?
I don't want to know how he figured that out, bro. I'm not gonna ask him.
I mean, look, we've been in quarantine for a while. He just got curious one day. He's like, I wonder. Yeah. We got Maverick 2020 coming out. I wonder what's going on with Val Kilmer, Iceman. Why did they call him the Iceman? He's as cold as ice.
Don't say things like that out loud, John. Don't do that. What
Look,
was
I'm
his
not
fucking?
I'm not the one that's going to
I don't even know if
gaystarnews.com or whatever the fucking
honestly,
link is.
I don't even know if his wingman had a name. Like I don't even know if it was
He was
important enough
irrelevant.
to give him one.
Felix, I know it's a crazy story how you found out. I don't know that I want to know about it. I don't know if it's even legal for us to talk about it. Maybe after we get off the air.
Yeah, we need to have Felix on the podcast, bro. Felix, let me know. I mean, you're home all the time anyway. Let me know when you want to hop on, man. We'll do this thing. Dude, I'm not clicking on that link. I've never been so afraid
I don't
to
even
click
see
on
the
a
link
link
on
in my life.
I see it on the Facebook page on the PC
I refuse.
on my other laptop,
Dude,
but I don't see it on my phone.
And I've seen 2 Girls 1 Cup and 2 BME Pain Olympics. I've never been more afraid to click a link in my life than Gay Star News. Just not happening. Shout out. Yo, we're calling this podcast. We're calling it right now. We're calling this Man Chatter episode 112, The Felix Files.
The Felix
That's
Files?
what we're doing on this one.
Jesus.
The Felix Files. Yo, shout out to the fact that should be your podcast, man. Felix, you should start a podcast, and that's what you should name it, The Felix Files. For sure.
Slider was Iceman's wingman, or as he was known, the weapons system officer, WSO, pronounced Wizzo, and formerly is the
real quick though,
the Gib, the guy in the back.
Iceman. The Iceman, and what was the name?
Slider. They're definitely gay for each other for sure. Slider.
I don't need to read the article.
And he was sitting in the back. He's the guy in the back, and his name is Slider. Felix, you went above and beyond.
Yo, so Val Kilmer was the bottom. All right. I think on that note, the fact that I don't even need to read the article to understand now that was a gay ass movie. All right, man. Yeah. Wow. What do you say to that? Like the Felix Files podcast is wrapped up, bro. God.
Yeah, Felix he's gonna be a contributor to he's just gonna be like what's the Daily Show? Daily Show's got what's his name? Klepper out there doing his own shit.
Because the motherfuckers get paid. He's gonna be like, this is Big Cat Rescue. We're Carol Baskin.
And he's one of our interns, our volunteers.
Like, yeah. In a year, you'll get right now you get no shirt. In a year, 2 years after that, we'll give you like a pink one. You pick the color, and then maybe in 7 years we'll acknowledge you in any other way.
Eric comes with the fire. He slid into that booty. Jesus Christ. But yes, you're right. Volunteers. For sure. Jesus
yeah, volunteers, bro. Fuck that. All right, my brother. Good podcast, man. It was a good ass time. The Felix Files podcast is a wrap. Man Chatter episode 112. You got anything else?
Nah, we're wrapping it up because apparently Steven has had enough, and really I've had enough of him. So we'll see you guys next time.
Yep. As have I. Wrap it up, B. Wrap it up. Yo, Sardine.